Hello and welcome back to the 12 Hours of Road America presented by Derek Spear Designs. This is the first round of the 2014/15 season of Masters of Endurance. First time that this series has delved into iRacing, and so far it's been I think, pretty great success. Currently leading the race is, I believe, unless it's changed, Coanda Simsport. And second position, although out of sync, having just made a pit stop, is Team Redline. Those two have been giving it to each other tit for tat pretty much from the beginning of this race. And joining me for the last few hours, I think, is going to be Phil Diaz, Jonathan Palmer, and hopefully Chris Ford.
Yep, we're all here.
That's all good then.
I'm still listening to the final countdown.
Okay, I've missed a few hours, so I'm going to need a little bit of help with the recap, but everything was very clean for the first few hours. A big battle at the front between Coanda and Redline, not giving each other any quarter. A few battles further back, we saw a couple of the INEX teams, and also, I'm trying to think who it was. Oh yes, it was Iberica after a bad start, making some real moves through the field early on, at which point it sort of set the tone. Lots of support from the broadcast chat and from us guys for Glacier as well, getting that Ford GT up into the top 20 in the first 4 hours. And unfortunately, I was away after that, so I'm not really sure what went on. We didn't have many DNFs early on, but that's really changed now. Lots of people out of this race.
Yeah, the bottom third of the grid pretty much are almost all DNFs, simply because it's taxing. This track is not necessarily easy, especially when you've been driving it for possibly up to 3 hours straight. You can very easy to make a mistake. So a lot of teams have, just small mistakes. We interviewed Thomas Arends for Virgil Racing, and he had that problem. Simply just, the rear tires get old, and just a simple mistake, really.
Yeah, it's one of those unfortunate things, and we've spoken a lot about the elements required to do well in endurance, and the core motorsports car being one to display that quite well, running around in fourth position. It's more about the consistency than the speed, and whilst the two at the front and a great number of other teams today have shown huge amounts of speed, it's only those two at the front that have managed to show that speed without having offs.
Yeah, actually, Redline had a couple of mistakes. I think we saw Enzo make one the first hour or two. Just went off in the carousel and came right back on. And then also Klaus Kivicus actually went off twice now. But other than that, it's been incredibly close. Team Redline, they've pit, I believe Coanda will be either coming in this lap or the next lap. But Redline pit about 5 laps ago, and Enzo Benito's put in laps that are almost purple for the session. 6/1000ths of a second off the fastest lap of the race.
That is pretty credible, isn't it? To be running so quickly.
Over 9 hours into the race, and he's still trying to go fastest in the session.
That is incredible. You got to hand it to Enzo. He's a guy that never really stops pushing. And every time I've seen him in the car so far this race, he has been absolutely flat out. So, credit to him and credit to the whole Redline team to have maintained their position and their pace so well throughout this event.
Yeah, they've all done a good job, both Coanda and Redline both, to keep, the 1-2 battle that they've had this entire race, as we're back actually visually on screen now.
Yes.
See Coanda Simsport in the lead currently.
Those McLarens are a bit of a fire breather as well, I've noticed.
Yeah, they are. It's crazy actually how much they spit off.
We do apologize for that getting footage back up, but trying to make sure the uploads of the parts start fairly quickly so we get them to you even quicker on the flip side of the race, as Quebecus and Coanda Simsport enters the pits for what might be their second to last pit stop here with 2:54.5 left.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I don't know. It's a 58-minute stint. They're gonna have to stretch fuel out one extra lap each time. I don't know if it's possible or not, but they might try it. That or the splash and gas. Yeah, splash for gas might be a little less than red lines, which will help them in the end as well. As we move to this Enzo to Enzo, Vincenzo Amica. You say this better than me, Oscar.
Which team is that I'm looking at?
Number 35, Radicals 2.
Thank you very much. Let me have a look. Ah, Vincenzo Amico.
Currently in battle with Marco Schneiders.
Schneiders?
Schneiders.
One of the two.
Yes, they have a car in between them. I think that's actually the Team Kimura car, the number 54 car, is in 6th position. But, yeah, Marco for Pure Racing Team 3 is actually the blue BMW ahead of him.
The roof actually of Vincenzo Amico looks to be going very deep into the brakes there in turn 5, so obviously got that car working quite well at the moment.
Yeah, they've actually been rather quiet movers as well. Joe Jr. started off, I don't know if he actually started the race, but I saw him around
No, he certainly started, he did.
He did? Okay, so
yeah.
hours 1 and 2 then. That's what I'm thinking. It's such a long time ago now. Been doing a great job though. Went through the pack, and now others have jumped in as well. Paul Ilbring was in there for a short time. Everyone really did a great job on that car actually. Doesn't look like I think a little scratch on the front bumper, and that's about it really.
Yeah, I guess that's probably just from a little front to back into a braking zone. Nothing major.
Yeah, just probably a little scuffle. Nothing like a bump and run. I guess that's American talk there.
You can go and talk to someone like Ryan Callan, who runs a different series, and he talks about there being such thing as a clean bump and run in road course racing. Of course, that's real. No, road course racing is, believe it or not, non-contact. So
that's how we like to look at it. Yeah.
Well, it's the better way to look at it. You know, you get cleaner racing if you have a set of non-contact rules.
Miko really wants around. Now Miko here really wants to make a move. It's not even from position. It's actually a car a lap ahead. But I mean, clearly he wants by because he wants to race the car ahead of him. Everyone's running very close pace actually.
It looks like there you go. He's got the move done now.
Yep. Good move there.
He was quite forceful and elbows out. Made it very clear that he was going to the inside. I think Trendle really did the right thing there. He's a bit slower at the moment, and just I think that 6th position's so good for Team Kimura. He doesn't want to throw any of it away.
Yeah, Kimura's been on. There's Simon. He's been on 26 laps, so his tires are very dead, I would say.
About ready for a pit stop, I think, in the next lap.
Exactly. Exactly. Amico's on lap 2 of his stint, while Marco Schneiders for Pure Racing team is lap 24.
He's doing well. If he's and Amico goes very wide there. Got a big wiggle on through the exit of the kink.
Yeah, he's pushing so hard for fresh tires, but I hope he knows that everyone else around him is about to pit soon.
Yeah, he could lift off and save the tyres for latest in speed, really. Yeah, it's one of those things you need lots of people to help you cool.
The car's a death trap anyway, so he might just have to wheel it like that.
Are you not a big fan of the roof?
I'm a big fan of its 1 lap pace. However, in race trim, it's definitely a handful.
Yeah. And the problem for me is that the engine is completely over that rear axle. You just can't afford to slide the thing at all.
Exactly. And that's what also makes the rear tires die off so fast.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm one of those noobs that just like, well, the Z4 is the easiest, so I'll pick that.
I can't do that. I have to drive the McLaren, maybe the Ford when it
when it's balanced even remotely close to the others.
when it's in the same class.
Yeah. Currently GT3 and GT3.7 in terms of the Ford, I think. So it's quite a way off. I think Amiko's going to go for the move down here at Ooh! That's surely not going to stop. Ooh, it is. Nicely done.
Wow.
I thought he was late on the brakes there, but he managed to slow it down.
Definitely pushed it in there. I don't even think that was a sentence, but he pushed it in there pretty deep.
Oh dear. Is it that hour already, Phil?
Yeah. I've only been up for 11 hours, but it's been a while.
Redline pulled gaps after Commander had made their most recent pit stop. Was obviously only about a second when they went into the pit lane. It's now 5.3.
Yeah.
Like you say, Enzo pulling some pretty insane laps, wasn't he?
Yeah, those fresh tires, Enzo was diabolical, really. I mean, we saw what he did in qualifying. Amazing lap.
Enzo's upsettingly quick anyway.
Yeah, for people who haven't seen it, the actual onboard laps on the Masters of Endurance YouTube page, just absolutely amazing lap, really. He had made a mistake in turn 1, and you think, how did he still, keep the momentum up and everything for the rest of the lap?
Yes, more concerningly is how much was there left in there.
Yeah, that too. It's worrying sometimes, thinking, what he could do.
I don't like to think about it because I don't know, it's nice to sometimes be going at a decent pace, but then you have people who just like Enzo and turn up and make you feel rubbish.
Yep. It's a painful thing, really. Also, just on stream now, the number 74 and the number 25 Flux Racing Team versus Monster Energy Endurance. Flux down the inside here. And they get the job done. These guys actually have been battling quite a bit this race. See a lot of familiar teams around each other. Probably get used to it.
Yeah, and I guess that's another thing as well to consider for maybe some of the incidents that we've seen throughout this race, is that it's the first time most of these teams and drivers have been driving around each other in a race situation. So not very many of them are going to be sure of how the guys around them drive, and as the season progresses, they'll get much more used to the sort of like, oh, I don't want to go for a move on this guy because it probably won't end well, or I can race here because he always gives room. It's just not the knowledge that you have this early on in the season.
Yeah. Exactly that, really. I remember just certain teams, Live for Speed Master of Endurance, certain teams you had to know, oh, it's safe if I try to make a move up the inside here. If it's not, it's always risky, obviously, but some people you can trust more than others. Not saying that some people are terrible, just saying that sometimes people take a risk. Even if you're trying to pass them, they're going to take a risk to stay in front of you, and that might end up in a huge incident.
And of course, it will also depend on the length of the race. I mean, in the 24, why risk it? I mean, if you can keep it clean, you're going to be getting an awesome result, so you wouldn't risk it as much. Whereas in a 6-hour race, there's not as much time to get your moves done towards the front if you start a bit further back in the faster car. So even on that level, you'll see, I imagine, more aggressive driving in the 6-hour races than this or the 24.
I think the 6-hour races are basically going to be sprints, especially with Redline and Coanda. That's just going to be a sprint race for them.
Well, I mean, they're basically sprint racing each other at the moment.
Well,
9 hours in.
Weren't the 6-hour races back in the LFS days pretty much all sprint races anyway?
Yeah, you normally had 3 drivers, and each driver did 2 hours, and pretty much a sprint, yeah. There's 3 sprint races in one with 3 different drivers is how you would look at it. And it's going to be the same type of situation here, whether they use 2 or 3 drivers. Personally, I think 3 is better, simply because you can cut it into thirds, which is a lot easier to do. But That's if they can do hour-long stints or not at other tracks, such as Suzuka, Coda, and Bathurst, which are where the 1,000-kilometer or 6-hour races are being held at.
I mean, it'll be interesting thinking about it. Cota's probably going to be a bit more taxing on fuel with all the high revs and keeping on throttle through long corners. You've got a bit more stop and start stuff and less high speed at Suzuka. Well, thinking about it, probably quite similar, so maybe they'll learn enough from the first of those two races to apply to the second.
Yeah, Suzuka has a lot of slow... well, yeah, they do have a lot of slow sections. Wow, I cannot talk anymore. However...
hairpin.
Yeah, but, oh, there we go.
You can.
Sorry, though, looking at the footage now, I would not like to drive the Ford around Suzuka.
Speaking of Ford, let's find out where...
12th position.
There. 12th position currently. Nice.
In front of the 13th position car of Hellenic Racing Team being driven by Andy Pers.
Yep.
And they're in front of the next Racing Yellow as well.
Yeah, but the next Racing Yellow's probably one of the slowest cars on the track at the moment.
After Jason Lovett's fun trip across the grass.
Yeah, William Levesque has done the same for them, trying to make up for that loss and also bended a little bit as well. When I say bended, I also mean bending the car. So, yeah. It's unfortunate. It happens, though.
I guess, you know, in such a competitive team, you want to get in the car and try and push on for the next position up the road, and when you've already got a car that's limping, it's bound to happen, really.
Yeah. It's a long race. Everyone knows it. But some people take it a little bit different than others.
Truth is, the next Racing Yellow is still in a pretty good position for a top 30, so getting themselves confirmed into the next round automatically. So that would be something to take from today at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, it shows them 14th right now, but the reason you say top 30 is simply because of the fact they're at least 2 seconds off the pace a lap. So.
Oh yeah, they're going to fall back. There's still, what, 2 and 3/4 hours or so to go. So yeah, they're going to fall back further, which is unfortunate. But all of the teams out there have to focus on the positives of their race.
Yep.
Do have a report via Twitter that fairly shortly, if not sooner, the Core Motorsports car will have a driver swap. The current driver, Alexander Voss, to Danny Giosa.
33 car. They're actually, well, we spoke about it earlier when we said quietly in 4th, but they're still quietly in 4th position. They've done a great job, actually. I believe they actually had they were saying a pit stop bug as well, which held them up about 40 seconds.
Obviously still a few issues with the new systems on iRacing to iron out. Also maybe iron out the hideous pace of the 4GT at some point, but...
Yep. I do wonder how many of these pit stop driver swap issues are just due to everyone still getting used to the driver swaps.
Well, I mean, there's things like the toe bug, for example, which seems to be the main thing this time around. Not really sure why it happens, but clearly something's happening when someone enters the pits and they get towed for some reason around the track instead of getting out of the car.
Maybe the incoming driver clicks
That's what I was thinking.
the button too early, so it's to them it's still a call for a tow instead of a takeover.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was thinking, because everybody is trying to get in a rush, getting someone out of the car and them getting in the car, which to me seems silly when the pit stops are 37 seconds long or whatever they are. So,
yeah, like 30 for fuel and 7 for tires.
No, 16 for tires, and then fuel takes another about 20 seconds, and they're separated, so tires first, then fuel. Yeah, these are slow people on tires. I think in real life they only have, I don't know if it's 2 drills or 1 that is allowed to run around the car.
2 in GT3 Racing.
1 each side.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 2 at Le Mans. 2.
I thought it was front and back though, for the 2. opposed to each side. But I'm not sure.
Let's be honest, they were not going to get it right first time. They'll work on it.
Yep.
Next build, it'll be perfect, as most of them are on iRacing.
Let's see, what else do we have here on track? I swear we've talked about these two cars before.
Which two?
The number 79 and the number 78. They're actually flip-flops from the last time we spoke about them.
Yeah. And they're both fresh out the box. Hammond Endurance team, less so. Phoenix Motorsports on their second lap since pitting. Hammond Endurance team on their 7th.
Probably saw in the background of the picture there, Team Redline, Enzo Benito, now stretched the lead out to 6.5 seconds over Coanda Simsport, who has rims broken in the car currently.
Oh, Oscar, to your question that you asked earlier in the race about everyone's favorite track on the MLB calendar.
Yes.
We had a name you might remember, Thomas Lorenz. From the old first days. His choice, Spa.
Seems a popular one.
Yep.
In his defense, though, he did drive a Radical SR3 there.
Yes, exactly.
So, I mean,
Alright, that gives it a bias.
yes, it does, but it's a good bias. It's a good bias.
True. I'm only jealous that he got to drive a Radical and not me.
Yeah, very much so.
Truth be told, you'd wreck a Radical.
Probably wouldn't. I'd probably just drive too slowly to have an accident.
Oh wait, that's me. Never mind, I'd wreck it. What, Chris?
I was going to say that. Oscar would wreck it.
Oh, would
He
you?
beat me to the punch.
Great minds think alike.
He beat me to the punch.
What is this about? Some sort of thought that I wreck everything?
I remember you driving, Oscar.
How many years ago is that though?
Not that long ago.
Chris is pretty set on this one.
We were discussing actually, I think it might not have been your first time, but the first time we saw Last Lap Motorsports. And you drove with automatic gears.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, I know, but you were involved in this.
I was involved in that group briefly and then wasn't. But yeah, automatic gears seems a poor decision, to be honest. I mean, I might be newbie and rubbish, but I'm not that newbie.
Automatic gears. I don't want to think about it.
I had a good race this evening, to be honest, Chris.
I don't care. quite frankly, my days of care about these things are completely over.
Oh dear. Team Redliner coming up on a right old train of cars now.
Yeah. Still watching the Ham Endurance team, trying to catch up on Phoenix, but it's more just like Ham Endurance team getting caught by Team Redline for getting lapped.
Ooh, Redline very wide.
Yeah. I don't know if you actually saw the slide by Alexei Yakov in the carousel or not. There was literally smoke boiling from his tires. He was that far sideways and just kept going.
But Yusi Yakola is another one of those silly aliens, isn't he? So.
Yes, very much so. Here comes Enzo Bonita now in the back of the Ham Endurance team. He's still pulling away from Coanda. Coanda might be saving fuel. They might. Don't know.
Redline got a lap on them a bit earlier on through the pit stops, didn't they? Or got a lap difference in the schedules.
Yeah, they've been doing different strategy now for a while. Unless Redline plan on doing some short stops in order to, you know, change the game a little bit. I don't know if Coanda are saving you. I don't know how to really stop that. Good old endurance racing strategy at its finest, really.
Ham seemed to catch up to the back of Phoenix quite a bit there through Sector 1.
Yeah, it looks like Phoenix was just being courteous, letting Redline by there. Oh, look. Was that a little contact?
That was a little contact between Redline and LIT. LIT turned in either turned in way early or oh yeah, they just got on the grass. Just got on the grass.
Hopefully Enzo's not got too much damage to them.
It was basically into the door of Enzo's Redline racing machine. Team Redline, I could say.
We also have a battle between the 75 and the 59. 59's slowly but surely been catching. A lot less laps on his tires, 6 versus 21.
I saw a Hellenic racing car in the pit lane in the background. Could have been the 13th position vehicle.
Yes. Well. 59 here, looking up the inside of 75.
And dives lead indicator in the corner, makes it stick.
Oh, big crash! Monster Energy Endurance has had a big off through the kink.
Not quite sure the number just yet.
25.
Ah, dang it.
Oh, huge impact with the wall.
Front and rear a bit damaged on that one.
Got on the grass on the inside of the kink.
You could say that the wall monstered his car.
Oh,
I see what you did
oh
there.
no, oh no, oh no.
I see what you did there, and I
Yeah,
do not
no,
approve.
it doesn't need, you know, it doesn't need repeating. Or everybody will understand the joke and how terrible it was.
Now, just want to listen in here to onboard Renz Brookman's car. There's a reason I'm doing this, don't worry, don't worry. Listen to how he goes into, let's say, turn 1, for example. Possibly lifting a little bit early before braking. Maybe I'm hallucinating, I don't know. Oh yeah, definitely lifting there. Lifting at the third marker and then braking at the second. Or someone say the first marker and braking at the second.
Is he doing the same up here?
He pushed it hard there, but I think it was because he was overtaking a car. That or they've told him that we're watching him, and therefore they're having him push. It's happened before, so it could be the same.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, because I get the broadcast pictures at the same time as everybody else does. Why would he be lifting? Trying to save fuel?
Yes, he's trying to save fuel because they were about 5, maybe 10 minutes from making it on fuel. So what they're doing, well, by that I mean, you know, after the remaining pit stops, they're trying to make it in only 2 more pit stops. It's crucial that they get under 2 hours here before they pit again. See how that turns out. But yeah, they are definitely trying to save fuel here. They already have about a 5 to 6 lap advantage on Team Redline when it comes to the pitting sequence.
To this point, with the
Redline
gap being
pitting a little bit
6.8 seconds, Phil, what do you think the likely outcome is between these two? It's been a ridiculously close race so far.
Well, it might be 7 seconds right now, but if Coanda can do 1 less pit stop, even if it's just a splash for gas for Team Redline, I mean that's, you know, it's 40 seconds or so.
Yeah, it's about 25, 27 seconds just to drive through the pit lane.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a very interesting finale, boys and girls watching. Stay tuned. 2 hours, 27 minutes to go.
And MOE is certainly no stranger to differing strategies late in the race. I think back to the 08-09 24 Hours of Aston, which was only interrupted by a penalty on low racing and their big battle against Mercury.
Yeah, that was probably one of the most memorable battles. The last 24-hour race in the last, I would say, probably 3 to 4 stints, going back and forth between the same team, similar to what we've been seeing today with Coanda and Team Redline. And then the top 2 drivers for each team. Whoa, sorry about that. You saw on stream there, a car losing a little bit in front of Coanda. But the final 2 stints, the top 2 drivers the top drivers for each team was driving. And going into the final pit stop, Johannes Schriller for Low Racing, when he went to get onto the brakes, actually had a tire let go on him. And because of that, he was actually speeding in the pits because he wasn't able to slow the car down in time.
That was a hard way to lose the race.
So, yeah, so then Mercury Racing went on to win.
I've just seen who's in the NX Racing red car.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Is it cry-worthy?
No.
It's somebody who likes frosting his tires.
Hey, he's great. He's great for GT3 racing simply because he does not destroy his tires. By that we mean Simon Cattell.
Simon Cattell, ladies and gentlemen, who used to be on an internet timer. His internet would shut off, what was it, 10 o'clock every night?
It was later than that. It was
11 o'clock, whatever.
I want to say it was midnight or 1 a.m.
I think
and it would just shut off.
It was midnight.
Yeah.
It was 1 a.m. when the clocks went back and
yeah, and it was
so
just
if he was
randomly
ever
shut off.
if he was ever in a race, you had to be swapped out by them, otherwise you'd be hosed.
Yeah, dude, most random thing ever. Just cut off after a certain time.
his daddy didn't like him being up so late.
Oh, that's mean.
We were talking. He was like 1920 at that point, for God's sake.
Yeah, he was.
Now he stays up until 5 or 7 in the morning, so clearly he's gotten back at them. Better to
He's a
live in
special
America now
individual.
secretly. Yeah.
Special in multiple ways.
Who else do we have here? Oh, do you guys notice the person? I mean, we've seen his name before on here today. Position 11, number 59. Do you guys remember that name by any chance?
For the guys.
I've heard
Yes. Raptor Racing, I believe, from Look for Speed.
I
raced
believe
them.
so. Oh yeah, because Marcus Schneiders and Sven
Yep.
Chris were in.
Yep. Germans, I believe. And they're all grouped up racing in this under Pure Racing Team, which that might be their team they're in now. Doing a great job, actually. Pure Racing Team. They have a car in 7th, or sorry, a car in 4th, and a car in 11th. Probably the best duo for a team, I believe.
Through Twitter, Randy Chenoweth with the NWSS number 55 McLaren, 55 being the New World Sim Sport. Currently on target to make it on 2 more stops.
Yeah, it's definitely clear that some people can do 2 and some people are stretching to do 2. Didn't think that would really be the case. I thought everyone would be around 55 minutes, but clearly that's not really been the case so far today. For the back, actually, we have a little battle brewing up, I believe. Pure Racing Team 2. Yes, another Pure Racing Team car. Going against R4R Motorsport. Position 19.
R4 chasing Pure Racing 2.
Yeah, R4R actually one of those teams that started way back in the field. I want to say as far back as 53rd or so. And they're up to 20th now. They're doing a good job.
48th was where R4R started.
Oh, okay. Wow. So far back.
Pure Racing Team 2 started 37th.
No, I don't want to make any assumptions here, but I just saw Alexi Aloma connected, so I'm thinking that he's going to be the next driver for Glacier Racing for GT. Not positive, but that's my assumption.
Don't forget, this weekend, IGP manager, you member? You want to be? Get to manage your own fake F1 team? MOE1 is the promo code you can use on IGP to get yourself 1,000 free reward points. That is a £9.99 value. To use the code to get the free 1,000 points, you must either be a new member or be a member who has never gotten reward points before. Offer valid all through Monday.
Do you by any chance do infomercials?
Why, no I don't.
That's what it sounds like. Oh,
But
man.
I happen to work at a TV station that occasionally airs infomercials to fill time.
Oh, yeah. It's probably annoying.
It's
Also-
interesting sometimes, the money they can make you.
Sticking with onboards here just because it's getting night, and that's normally well, it's not night here yet, but it's normally what it is. European time, at least, it's night. Flux Racing team behind USCSR's Team Frenzy. Simon Carr in the number 67. A little bit newer tires, not too much. Back now to R4R, who's closed in actually on Pure Racing Team 2.
Just out of interest, Phil, for people who might be watching, like me, who have absolutely no idea what's going on, the tyres and the fuel. At what point is the car the fastest during its stint? Is it more fuel dependent or more tyre dependent?
First lap.
Lap.
First 3 laps, I would say. Yeah, tires are extremely important. Stints have been around 28 laps today, I would say, on the limit there for fuel. And tires you can start a stint out, I believe, 204. I mean, fastest lap this race, for example, 204.750. However, currently they're running 206.1. The reason is simply because they are 15 to 20 laps into a stint, and the drop-off, tire degradation, is actually happening to the tires, and therefore they're losing time. So it's somewhat better to pit. I can't say more often, but if you're pitting and doing shorter stints, then yes, you're pitting more often. But at the same time, you gain a lot of time for pitting, getting new tires, and taking off. We've seen that from Team Redline today, pitting a couple laps earlier than Coanda, and because of that, they get a little lead. But Coanda's either getting that back at the end of the stint, or Team Redline are pitting earlier, and that might be the decision of the race, really, where they've started pitting earlier, and they probably expected to pull a bigger gap, but they haven't, and that's allowing Coanda to possibly take this victory simply because they might be able to squeeze in one less pit stop.
Team Redline, Enzo Benito at the wheel. Heading down towards turn 5.
See, now this cockpit is a proper cockpit.
This is a proper cockpit. Steve McLaren MP412C GT3 flavor. Benito got some traffic up ahead. Someone's going just a little wide. So that's Team Kimura, Adam Perry. Benito with an 8.2 second lead right now. Well, that's surely one way to get out of the way. Just go off the track.
I'm quite impressed with the back markership so far.
Oh, Enzo runs wide at the exit of the King. That was close to a wreck. Kept it on the right direction.
I am impressed with the lapping so far because, quite honestly, they seem to respect the fact the leaders coming through and give way. They don't jump out of the way normally either. Oh crikey, that was lucky.
Well, and so too, the sim knows your laps even if you have a disconnect or something. So there's really no false blue flags.
They were always funny at for speed.
Right.
There was nothing more strange than leading the race and getting a blue flag.
Yes. Well, and I forget what year it was, but one of the 24 hours of Aston and LFS, basically the GT2 class leader was second in the LFS positions list because they were one of the only 2 or 3 cars that didn't time out.
So 2 hours and 12 minutes to go, and there are still continuous battles all over the field. We're currently watching the battle for 6th position.
Yeah.
In that blue and black car, Simon Grossman, Trinity Motorsports, car 60. Just ahead, Simon Trendle, Team Chimera.
Battle of the Simons here.
All it needs Simon Cattell to spin off and join them.
Curious
Simon's
now
cat to appear.
Battle of the Simons here. I'm actually curious on who's going to get it. BMW versus McLaren as well.
Team Chimera, 15 laps since their last stop in the box. Trinity Motorsports, 9. 8 stops so far for Trinity.
Well,
didn't the tracker
live timing,
thing get
yeah.
rebooted
Live timing had to get rebooted
because
during the
of
race.
IRTVO?
Yes.
Such a wunderbar system.
I think it was my fault on that one. I was timing out. I had to restart it. These two are going to have a nice little battle here, I think.
On the run through Kettle Bottoms towards Canada Corner.
Did you say cuddle bottoms?
Kettle Bottoms.
Okay. That was a bit weird.
That's what the name of the section is for iRacing.
I'll just assume that's what the real life one is as well. I don't actually know, but I'm just going to say it is.
I'm not sure.
That's a good run here.
Yep, Grossman has slipstream. Will Trendle cover? Hold his line. Not so sure Grossman maybe wanted to go around at that point.
No,
Because
I
easily
think it's...
could have.
No, that corner it's a very odd corner because of how fast it is and everything. The outside can really hold its line very well. So that possibly is what it is. Seen it in different other series as well. People are able to hold the outside line in turn 1 very well.
Yeah, the more I see of this backfire effect, it is kind of excessive.
Well, the McLaren is a fire-breathing dragon. However,
Well, that is true. That is true.
In real life, it is as well. However, it is pretty much every single lift of the throttle,
Yeah,
even if shifting.
It's not all the time in real life. I mean, it tends to be just when there's a little bit of excess fuel, which again, it's not consistent. It's probably more to do with engine mapping of the car at the time or something. But it is excessive on iRacing. It looks
You
nice,
kinda
but it's
see
too
it
often.
there. Go on board with the number 60 car. Look forward so we can see this film.
So needy.
Go.
Yeah. Here we
And
go.
just look ahead, especially coming up through here into Canada Corner. Pretty much constantly lit up during braking.
Is this a new feature?
Relatively
it's
new,
a
yeah.
couple of builds old now, but yeah.
Didn't in the recent build they enhance it a little bit?
They actually toned it down on quite a few cars. I mean, the McLaren's the only one that pretty much spits out all the time. The rest are not like that.
Grossman, you saw drawing right up on the back. Tremble.
Here we go, decent run there. Within striking distance for sure. Probably gonna have to go around the outside though.
Yep, Tremble being very defensive the whole straightaway. Moves up a little bit, a lot of it to try and take a proper line. Grossman had to stay wide. And again,
Also-
like we go ahead.
I was gonna say also a feature that you see a lot in iRacing is the windshield or windscreen, however you say it, in whatever country you might live in, how it gets dirty, and clearly you can clear it at a pit stop, but it becomes a problem during a stint, especially when you're following a lot of traffic. Some of those trains earlier, I noticed a few cars in that train would have marks on their windshield. It'd be a little bit harder to see, especially if there's glare from the sun on the windscreen.
The point I was going to make a moment ago was, like we said earlier, Phil, in a close battle like you've kind of got right now between the Simons and Oscar and Chirpin, a lot of close battling is what you do mentally to try and psych out or kind of distract the other driver.
Yeah. Apparently that's not really none of this going on here. They're just doing a straight, simple battle. But yeah, we've seen that earlier, where people, show themselves on the inside of the track, or yeah, the inside for a corner, but don't actually do anything on it and hope, that the car in front of them runs wide. And that can happen, especially in these endurance races as people get tired, but it's very less. It's not really likely, especially at some of these people are extreme high-level drivers, and they don't normally make mistakes like that.
Team Redline fresh out of the pit stop.
Yeah, and they pit before the hour mark. Definitely going to have to do an extra pit stop.
So that could throw them out a bit, actually, couldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know really what is going on with that. I mean, Enzo has clearly been... Well, actually, I can't even say clearly because Rens Bergman's been saving a little fuel here and there. But yeah, he's been extremely fast, and it's gonna really be hard on them if they lose simply because they didn't try to make it on fuel. And I know that. Actually, I was reading yesterday that they said that this is the first endurance race that they're doing in their 14-year history, which seems weird thinking of like GTP and stuff like that from NR 2003, but it's just, I don't know. I guess you have to learn if they haven't really actually done endurance races, at least in a while. Then they're learning right now that you kind of have to sometimes win on strategy alone.
Yeah, of course, last weekend Coanda were in a 24-hour race in iRacing. So in terms of just a bit of prior experience in this kind of event, on iRacing specifically, they do have it now. So, yep. I mean, we've basically now got to see if that Coanda SimSport car gets to the hour mark and can basically get it home on, what will it be, 2 more stops instead of, I think, the 3?
No, it's going to be 1 plus 2.
Yeah, 1 of course, sorry.
Well, Coanda still have to pit, but basically right now they each need to do 2 stops, even if Team Redline's stop is only going to be a very short amount of time.
But they're going to have to build up probably a bit more of a gap than they had to maintain the lead if they have to do that. Because obviously the pit lane itself is really quite long, irrespective of how long you spend in the stall.
Yeah, they're going to have a minimum 30-second lead. And they only had an 8-second lead when they.
I don't think Renz is going to let it go out to 30.
I highly doubt it. As long as Renz can pit and exit the pits with about 1 hour 55 remaining, he may be okay. I'm not quite sure. Obviously, you have the situation where they could cross the line with 10 seconds left in the race, and they have to do an extra lap. So you never know.
No, but then that's sort of the appeal of this kind of race, is that until we get to the last lap, last minute, we won't know for sure. And it's great when people are this close throughout.
Gonna try to look out the back of the Chimera car here. We have done that. So currently looking behind the Chimera car at Simon Grossman in the Trinity Motorsports car. Deciding to give a little bit different of a view here. Oh, actually, you see a car off. I can't even tell who that is. Actually, that might be the NX Racing yellow car.
That is coming off. Went see, what did he do?
Just went wide and lost it.
Yep.
Oh no, he lost it well before he went wide.
Oh yeah, he lost it before he even got to the curb. Didn't hit the wall.
That car is limping all the way down to 21st now. Oh, and Gavin Mason's gone off. Got it all crossed up as the Team Redline car came to lap him.
Maybe Enzo scared him off the track.
Well, Enzo's last lap was a 2:47, which is quite scary. Again, just blitzing it on the new tyres, isn't he?
Half a tenth from going fastest in the session. This battle doesn't look to be ending anytime soon. They might end up making a pit stop. Which they will be, well, not that soon, but relatively soon here. Been side by side once going into turn 1.
Once again, here with 2 hours, just under it, remaining in the 12 hours of Road America, presented by Derek Spear Designs. Been a great race so far. Jonathan Palmer, Phil Diaz, Chris Ford, Oscar Hardwick with you through to the conclusion.
Oh, and around the outside, is he going to get it done this time? Oh no, big wiggle.
Yeah.
Have to recede the position. And now Benito's on them, so it's all going to get a bit more interesting.
Yeah, if there was a horn right now, he'd be honking it, flashing lights and everything. He needs to get through. Oh!
Oh!
Sometimes when someone's being nice to you, you just don't expect it.
No, it's not also the best idea to be nice to people on the racing line.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was after the curb and he was still on the left side. I think Enzo was expecting to have the inside for the next corner.
He's getting close though to the 6th position car.
Basically telling him, hey, I need to go. By the way, looking at the time left, 1 hour 57 minutes or so. We have to watch Coanda now, see when they actually enter the pits.
I guess that they can pit any time now and basically get away with it.
Possibly. I think they should go a little bit further. At least one more lap. They're only on lap 26. If they can get 28 laps this stint, they're looking really good. For one more stop after.
Yeah.
Enzo trying to draw around the left car, does so.
Yeah, Simon Trindle lifts off halfway down the straight. Another battle for position, actually, which has been a battle for quite a while. It's a 3-car battle between numbers 4, 9, and 97.
Car 4 being R4 Motorsports, James Robinson and New Wheeler 18th. Lars Conrad, Pure Racing Team number 2, 19th in car number 9. And just stepping off the grass at the carousel, Thomas Hallinan, and then KRT Motorsport number 97, MP4 12C. Car number 97, 20th. All these drivers, 20 plus laps since their last stop. R4R Motorsports and Pure Racing Team number 2, both 22 laps since, 26 laps since the last KRT stop.
That was a huge... Oh, spin!
That's a mistake! That's a spin!
Oh, and there's contact in the background as well. That was a huge dive gone wrong there. Pretty sure we'll see a protest on that one. Oh, and then a spin right after that.
Oh, that's
Holy cow.
That's a...
Clipped the grass under... Yeah, clipped the grass under braking there and lost it. So... now everything's changing. Dare I say people are starting to get a little tired, making mistakes maybe?
That could be. Going to SimSport have completed 28 laps since their last pit stop.
Yeah, I think they're safely going to make it now. By safely, I mean, well, doing the save that they've done, the saving of the fuel. Rins has done an excellent job on that. And currently, he's losing a second and a half to Enzo Benito currently for Team Redline. However, you know, I don't know. It's just not enough, really.
So, taking a look back at that incident with car 97 and 4, car 97 just waited till way late to brake, tried to get 2 cars at once, and so sent the number 4 car spinning around.
I don't think he was actually going for 2 cars at once. That just happened because he braked way too late for the corner.
Well, and that other contact that was just behind was the Veilside Endurance team, unable to, unsighted. The car spun right on the curb.
Oh, the Nine Cat car?
Yes, the Nine Cat car.
Brokeman pits.
Yes. Notice it's about 1 hour 52 minutes. That means they can do, what is it, 56 minutes since?
Yes, which I think they should be pretty comfy doing.
Yes, that should be around 28 laps. So they just do what they just did, basically.
Yeah.
2 more times, and
2 of the same, and it
should be good to go.
Should be a, dare I say it, win on the cards.
Commentator's curse.
Despite Redline's pace.
Commentator's curse.
Well,
Talk
yeah,
about
we've
that.
seen that before.
So currently, another battle that's shaping up on track. It's not the 2 cars that you directly see here, but the roof of Paul Ilbrink is currently chasing down the lone Ford GT Glacier Racing car. As you can see, somewhat a little bit ahead. Yeah, gonna root for the Ford GT here. Sorry, radicals. It needs to be done.
Got to be the underdog.
Yeah, they need to have cheerleaders. I'd like to see them be able to get a top 10. Currently they're in the 10th position. They're pitting very soon, actually. Or not very soon. How dare I say that? They're pitting in about, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So they can...
This
they only
is
have
a
to
long
do...
pit stop for Coanda.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to be
Just leave it now.
15 to 20 seconds behind, maybe. Maybe not that much. A fair way.
16, yep, about 16 seconds behind, 16, 17 seconds.
Maybe they had some damage.
I think he lost a lot of time staying out like that, so it was already going to be about 12 seconds that they were behind Team
I think it
Redline.
was about, what, 9 or 10 seconds before the stop.
Yeah, they've had to... Well, that was before Redline pit, if that's what you mean.
Yes.
But then Redline pitting early, and they have the fresh tires, they're able to pull away. Until now, Coanda has the fresher tires, so maybe they can get a little bit of that time back, but I doubt it. I think Rins is going to have to save a little bit more fuel as we see Paul Ilbrink pull up to the back of the Glacier Racing car. Ilbrink not only in a car that most would say is faster, but also the fact that he's on much fresher tires. And Paul Ilbrink just went straight on into the wall.
Oh, that was a massive...
Yes, I think he just had something we were talking about earlier where the game minimizes.
Oh, he just didn't brake. Not at all.
I think the game just minimized
Oh,
him or
our
something
engine's
like
gone as well, so he's out.
that. Yeah. Don't know how. I don't know if Yari was watching his mirror or what. It looked like he went into the grass. So, dare I say...
Brakes came off. He hit the Glacier car as well.
This is weird.
Yeah, interesting because Glacier don't have any damage.
Okay. They showed us making contact on my replay. Running in 10th now, the Glacier Racing 4 GT. Really good effort from those guys.
That just interesting. It's like he tapped the brakes and not even sure.
Now a car has pit. Number 59 cards. Well, you can't see from the overlay currently. However, the 4GT Glacier Racing is now actually in the 9th position.
By the way, everyone who's been with us for all the race so far, and those of us who've just joined us, and those who've been with us on and off, thank you for joining us. Flag-to-flag coverage of every round here on simrace.tv. Great service that us as a group have used for a couple years.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to use.
And the best part is it's cost-free.
Deco's favourite word. I mean, John's favourite word.
Yes. Don't forget, title sponsor of this race, sponsor for the series, Derek Spear Designs, DerekSpearDesigns.com. That's Derek with a K, Spear with a bonus E on the end. Offering up a total of 6 track bosses, free for the championship winning team, and then 3 others for individuals throughout the same.
Who spells Derek with a C? Or do you mean
I
like
don't know.
I-C-K?
Perhaps any other version.
Okay. Just wondering.
I just like to cover all the bases.
See, Coanda, they have the fresher tires, but they're running pretty much the same lap times as Team Redline and Benito. Both basically 205.496 for Redline and a 205.499 for Coanda SimSport. So practically the same time. Even though that Coanda's on fresher tires, clearly, I mean, they have to save fuel and they're doing that. Also, battle shaping up on track between AB Racing Black and Pure Racing Team 3. Pure Racing Team pretty much fresh out of pits. AB Racing Black, sorry, are about halfway through their stint or so.
running a little wide in turn 13.
I don't know if you noticed, but there's a car off at the carousel. I didn't see who it was. It looked like a white McLaren. Not quite sure who it was there. As Philip Geis, the inside of Ricardo Costa, makes the move stick. Soon to be New World Sim Sport who went off there.
Oh, Joel Trump leg getting just a little tank slapper on. Looks like with the exit of the kink. Oh, that was carousel. I think that's back.
Yeah, it's carousel.
Yeah, it looked like you had a little squirrely mid-corner. Trying to slow it down a little more. Oh wait, no, I was currently. Well, same thing. I got on the grass on the inside of the carousel. Tried to correct it, snap up steered, and back the right rear corner into the tire barrier.
Yeah, you can't ride those curbs too much with the center of the car on the McLaren if it hits the curb or anything like that.
This was in the first part of the corner. There was no curbs.
Oh.
It was on the inside. He was very early in the corner.
Okay then. Nah, still. Grass, hit a bump. It'll upset the car.
200, 201, whatever it takes.
Okay, so let's see here. We don't actually have... These two cars are actually the closest for position currently. I know they're only 1 second apart, but still the closest for position. Got a couple others that are about 2 or 3 seconds apart. Has a lead battle, which still amazingly is only 16 seconds in between the front two. Ren's doing a very good job of saving fuel, and also, I mean, he's still running extremely competitive lap times.
Yep. Gap
Fastest.
is 16.1 seconds.
Yeah, fastest on track actually. Past couple laps, so he's not slouching in the actual race pace department at all, but he's also able to save quite a bit of fuel. Enzo for Team Redline, just a little bit faster that lap. Oh, well, not a little bit necessarily, 3/10. I guess in an endurance race that is a little bit, but they've been swapping back and forth. Fastest lap times. Once again, want to give a shout out to Core Motorsport, who've been quietly riding around in 4th position. Pretty much minding their own business all race. Also to Pure Racing Team in the 5th position. Michael Booth wants to give a shout out to NGK Racing Team, currently in the 10th position in the BMW. Long-time racers in Lift for Speed. I think the last time I remember them racing would be MOE GT2.
No, they were in, I think they were in the most recent, or, the 2013 GT1 World Series by NDR 24-hour race.
Okay, well, they're not.
Which,
definitely
if I
used to
remember right,
endurance races, at least.
they, remember right in that one, that was the one where they used some cheeky pit stop timing during the safety car to gain an entire lap on the GT2 part of the field. Oh no, that was GT1. Cool. That was GT World Series, and New Dimension Racing did, because it was a multi-class. If Chris Ford were still in here. Oh, well, that's harsh. The gap at the top end of the field increased by about a second recently. Hey, Chris.
Yep.
Do you remember the Hellenic team in GT World Series race, 24-hour race it was, where they gained a lap on the field during a safety car?
Sorry, say that again?
Hellenic Racing Team. Gained lap on field using pit stop and safety car. I think you were there for that.
I cannot remember this, but
okay.
It probably happened.
Still have the good old Veilside Endurance Team, aka non-cat. 14th position. Currently just riding around really. They've had some right front damage. It looks like they've added on a little bit. Otherwise they've been rather clean this race. Actually they have damaged almost every corner of that car.
I think we just got kicked offline. I was back in. Yeah, the 9-cat, I had the idea first. Myself and Dominic Engel from Racing.
You guys did have that car, I do agree.
You did?
About 3 years ago at least.
Yep. When 9-cat was relevant.
So it's still a great thing. He's bringing back, that's a retro scheme. He's done a great job. I don't know how many laps he's done, Matt that is, but he's done quite a few laps in this race. Possibly a battle for position here. Team Kimura and AB Racing Silver. And once again, got beat because Team Kimura comes into the pits right after I start doing them. Third place car of NGK Racing Red into the pits. Simon Cattell getting out of the car. And Robin Friskops getting in. They've been quietly in third for the past 2 or 3 hours. Also have the 10 of Iberica Racing Team slowly gaining on Trinity Motorsports. However, Trinity has just pit and Iberica is soon to pit. So that's most likely why they gained a ton of time on them.
Yes, Iberica coming to the end of their stint, having done 24 laps. Up at the front. Up at the front, the gap 17.5 seconds between Redline and Canada, and it's
Did you say
relatively
Canada?
stable at the moment. No, I did not say Canada. Yes. Thank you, Phil. The gap is relatively stable, Redline pulling away a tenth of a second a lap. Of course, the second place team, not Canada, attempting to go longer on their last stop. So Phil, what's your reading of this current situation? Do you think that they're still likely to win this race? Not Canada team.
Coanda?
Coanda.
Coanda, yeah. I think they have, you know, an easy. I don't want to say easy win, but I think they have it basically in the bag as long as they can make it on one more pit stop, which so far we've seen that they should be able to. Unfortunately, Team Redline have to do one more stop. They've been short pitting a little bit. I don't know if it's just the fact of, you know, that was their strategy, or, you know, they weren't looking at the bigger picture. But it looks like Coanda have thought through this, probably have some form of stint schedule and everything ready to go. Timed it all perfectly, and it looks like it's paying off for them currently. You see Coanda's currently stuck behind 2 cars, which, oh, by the way, are in a balanced position.
Yep, the Flux Racing Team, Forza Discret at the wheel, and Farouk Manzar, New World Sim Sport, swapping P19 and 20.
Yeah, I think that 55 car is
just
a little
out
damaged.
pit stops.
Yeah, I think the 55, the damage from their off and the carousel, I think that's going to hamper them. I don't even think Farouk's going to be able to battle here.
That rear wing has about 700 different angles right now.
Yeah, it's going to cause issues.
It would be like driving the Ford GT, I think. Where is the Ford GT? They're nice now, crikey.
Speaking of the Ford GT, I think it's time for an update. Glacier Racing currently in the 9th position.
You know something? We should actually have like a news bulletin thing, like a jingle sort of thing. Ford GP update, not Ford GP. Ford GT update. Doot.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? No spoilers. But I have seriously sat here all day long. I haven't watched any Formula 1. No spoilers.
They all wrecked. They canceled.
No spoilers. It's qualifying today. It's Saturday.
Master's on pole.
Oh, Master's on pole.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a Brazilian's dream. Max Chilton second, yeah. Right.
Thanks for that, Pruthi. I had to. He just said something realistic.
And Glacier's in the pits now. along with the Core Motorsport number 33 car, who were in third. However, Robin Friskrops and NX Racing Red taking over that position again once Core Motorsports has entered the pits. Also have, I don't know if this is actually going to be a battle or not, simply because Hellenic Racing's already come out of the pits and now are going away. However, Velocidaddy is right behind him. Velocidaddy Endurance Team. Under 90 minutes left in the race. 5 hours ago, however long it was. Don't think we'd ever reach this. Seems like it's been an extremely long day.
Yeah, but it does for you. What time is it now? Does it now, Phil?
5:40, so I've been up for 12 hours, 40 minutes.
I remember 24-hour race years ago. I would get like, it was in the days when you can go to Asda or something like that and get 6 cans of Red Bull for like £2 or something like that. And just downing all that all night.
No, I can't do Red Bull. I haven't touched coffee or anything all day. All I've drank is water, and I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at one point because I was starting to go crazy.
Yeah, I can't do Red Bull and all that anymore. It's just a waste of time. Why would you do that sort of thing?
Actually, I got I can't remember, something was going on. Red Bull was doing some promotion thing, and I didn't mean to, but I was watching Supercross and I retweeted one of their tweets. I think it was about James Stewart winning the main or something like that last season. And when I did that, the next day I got a tweet from Red Bull and they sent me a case of Red Bull. So I was like, oh, I don't even drink this stuff.
I don't want this. You can take it back, thanks.
Tip of the hat to them though for doing that.
So what you're saying is if we retweet a Red Bull tweet, we will get free Red Bull?
Definitely not promising. Clearly there's some form of promotion that I didn't know of and just got lucky. That's interesting. I have to say this simply because it's happening. Right on board Nestoraz here for Hellenic Racing. And he's actually been right on the back of Enzo Benito the past, I would say, 5 laps. Now, what many would say the reason for this is because Enzo's on lap 19 of his stint, and Nestoraz is on lap, 3. So he hasn't even been behind him for 5 laps, but it's always interesting because you see the tire differences and whatnot, and the cars falling off because of tire degradation. You just see a person who's in 13th position and they're just riding right behind the leader. Like it's nothing, really. So we actually have a battle for position, dare I say. Oh, not much of one, as the 55 car that we were speaking about earlier gets passed. Fortunately, really, in the World Sim Sport, they were really well. They're within the top 15 for sure. Most of the race. After the field spread out, at least.
Something must have happened to them. Wonder if they maybe
Yeah,
fell
they went
victim
off.
to bug.
Yeah, it was within the past hour. They went off in the carousel, and I believe they hit the rear of the car on the outside tire wall, just enough to where it just bent it up. Probably a lot more, just simply straight line damage than anything. But it's probably. The steering looks okay, so I'm guessing it's just mainly straight line speed, and overall handling is just probably a little off.
Do you think there's any cars out there that don't have some kind of damage at the moment?
No, I don't know.
Because we did see Redline, wasn't it Redline hit with a back marker earlier? So they must have damage.
Yeah, Redline have a little bit. I think let's see, the 7 car maybe? 7 car is pretty clean, actually. I've been doing a great job. Quietly sitting in the 4th position, Pure Racing team. The 33 car of Core Motorsports has done a pit stop. Pure Racing team have not, and I believe that's why they're ahead currently. It is actually 37-second gap.
Even they're 41 seconds behind the next red. Who look pretty comfortable for a place on the podium.
Yeah, that car's been pretty quiet actually. It started, I think, 21st on the grid or something like that, and slowly moved through.
Though it must be said, they're very slow at the moment. I don't know if something happened in the last lap to Frisco's, but they are very slow.
Yeah, not seem to be pushing too hard. They're only on lap 5 of the stint, so I'd expect them to be a little bit quicker. Possibly some traffic here that they're negotiating. Just in front of 2 other cars, so possibly is what it was.
I've definitely been impressed with the lapped traffic etiquette.
Yes,
today.
they've been very friendly, I should say.
Yeah, it's professional rather than the helter-skelter, we will race you attitude from previous simulations with the children. I mean, the good drivers.
Some people want to race somebody, so they try to race a car that's a lap ahead. It just causes problems.
Oh look, it's one of the drivers from the quote-unquote, I think it was you who put this on Twitter, the quote-unquote slow Ford GT.
Yeah, hi guys.
It didn't look so slow out there.
Well, it's big, it's ugly, but it's great to drive.
It looked like a boat at one point, to be honest. I think that's how I described it on the stream, because it looked as though every time you tried to enter a corner it would sort of not want to turn in, and then on the exit it didn't really want to exit either, and you'd get a massive kick of oversteer, and to be honest it looked as though you had a massive sweat on, to be perfectly honest.
Well, it looked because it looked so, because it was so. Well, I took a shower today, but well, we could have really needed one. But yeah, it's, well, you know, the traditional Ford GT doesn't want to turn in, but then if you press the throttle, it tries to oversteer you into the wall. So you figured out.
Yeah, it seems, well, it's definitely a tough car to drive, and also, I know you guys just wanted to be loyal to the car and you wanted a challenge, but is that really the only reason you guys chose the Ford GT?
Or I don't know about the others, but for me it was part the gearbox. I hate the gearboxes on the other GT3 cars because they are driving Nintendo.
Yeah, that's not fun. Just being able to hit a button and shift down without issues. I can see where you're getting out there. So it was just mainly the challenge of it and to have a little fun being the underdog, I guess you could say.
Yeah, maybe so. I was actually quite happy when I saw we were P9.
Yeah, currently you guys are in P11, but I think that's because of pit stops here.
Yeah, it is a pit stop, and I think we're gonna need
Were there any hairy moments out there, Yari, other than the actual car itself? Were there any actual problems with traffic and people who were racing maybe a bit strangely?
Well, I'm actually reading my Twitter feed, and Randy General is screaming at me for going 3 wide in the T1. It was actually 2 wide in the T1, but still, yeah, the lap car was already passed by the braking zone.
Yeah, I read that.
Paul Hilbring did something. I need to change my underwear. I just saw a flash of white or something there, and he went straight to the wall. I guess from the throttle.
Yeah, it looks like his, I don't know if his game froze or what, but he just stuck wide open. Went straight into the wall.
Yep.
The thing with Randy, yeah, I saw some of those tweets. I mean, you guys were 3 wide on the straight, but it's a straight. The straight's perfectly capable of holding 3 cars side by side. We were a little excited in the commentary box, hoping nothing happened mainly.
If you go straight, nothing's going to happen.
Exactly.
It's a straight line.
Yeah, it's
Phil being American knows all about that.
Until you get to the corner. Yeah, it was one of those heat of the moment things I wouldn't have done if I had had a second thought on the matter. But yeah, they were too slow. I have nothing else to say.
Glad you did it though, it was really exciting. As you guys, by the way, just moved to 10th position as Ricardo Costa for AB Racing Black Pits.
And think of that as our goal was actually to finish in the top 30, so... Yeah,
Top
right.
30?
Yep.
Well, actually, I wasn't expecting this many retirements. It looks like just people, mainly in the kink, having some issues. As Tapani has just disappeared from the racetrack. Oh, he's back.
Just some lagging issues with the server farm. I was actually quite sad to see Infinity Racing and Avi Harrod go into the wall.
Yeah, they were. We've been around them for years now with Masters of Endurance. They're in Live for Speed. We were hoping they did pretty well. They were out extremely early, unfortunately.
Yep. But I'll leave you guys to do the rest of the race, and I'll go have something to eat. So have a nice evening and goodbye, guys.
Don't
Thanks,
forget to change your underwear, as you said earlier.
Make sure you do that when you get a shower.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
See ya. So there we go, we have 1 hour and 60 minutes to go, Phil, and it's still 16.5 seconds now between Team Redline and Kwanda.
Yeah,
said it
literally
stupidly
nothing
again.
has changed. Nothing has changed at all this stunt. Renz has pretty much just held his ground. I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe that Enzo will be in the pits within the next 3 laps or so, so about 1 hour 10 minutes to 1 hour 5 minutes remaining. No way that they can get all the way to the end from there. Unless they literally just go slow and save fuel. But that won't win them the race, so I don't know.
They're going to have to start pushing, in other words.
I think they've already
if they
been
want a
pushing.
chance.
Oh, there's a car off to the side of the track, heavily damaged there. I'm sure who it was. It was light blue and a white car. I want to say Luis Rodriguez, maybe? Yes. Oh man, that car is heavily damaged. Ham Endurance team. Almost to the end here.
Shame with an hour to go.
Yes. Oh, he's going to have...
that was an interesting skip across the curb for the Team Redline car, just as we cut away there. Because of course I see this when the rest of the people here see this, but across the curb, it must be the kink corner. The car skipped through the air, it looked like there. It was strange. And that car is totaled. As you say, Phil, that looks as though it's ready for the scrap heap, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to finish the race here with that. I don't even think iRacing would allow it. I think I'm going to call it quits for him there.
That reminds
Very
me
unfortunate.
of... Who was it? God, it's a NASCAR thing. I watched it the other day. It was Davey Allison's car. and 92.
Which race? 92 Pocono?
I'm thinking of the finale race.
Oh, Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, when he came out with absolutely nothing left in his car and just sort of toured around.
Yes. He was going for the championship, and
Mhm.
therefore stayed out and tried to gain as much points as possible in case of other cars breaking down or something.
Yes, well, that car reminds me of that. Just totally destroyed.
Unfortunately, sometimes those things happen, as we've seen today.
Indeed. Of course, some of these cars may be may not actually have visible damage, but they may have mechanical damage.
Yeah. I don't know. I think most of the cars we see here are okay. Might be some very, very small things here and there, but nothing too large.
I'm again over that car, but I don't know if it's the camera and the racing physics, but it just looks sort of bounces at a really awkward angle.
Are you talking about the fast left-hander that's kind of going uphill?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you hit that curve, it doesn't necessarily unsettle the car, but it definitely makes the car very light, especially the front end. It seems to want to throw you to the right side of the track.
According to an unnamed source, apparently Ham Racing Tow used their fast tow after 11 hours.
Wow. That's interesting. They're definitely
What's a fast
running.
tow?
So basically that means that they didn't have any damage the entire race, and then somehow when they went into the pits they got basically a free car.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you get basically a free repair in iRace. Oh, yes. Sorry, no, I do remember this now. Okay. That's interesting. 11 hours in, being able to use that.
If that really, maybe they got lucky and somehow iRacing gave them a free one. I don't know. Who knows the situation really?
Come in 27th position.
Well, is it correct that it'll be set to 2 festivals for the 24-hour?
It said one every 12 hours. I would say yes.
Which means obviously 0 in the
yeah, none of the 6 hours
shorts, because well, you don't need that.
Been testing back in the car for Team Kimura, chasing down Trinity Motorsports currently. Been having to pit much sooner. However, it looks like both of them will have one pit stop left.
So, what do we think might be a necessary gap for Red Line before this next pit stop?
They need close to. What do you mean, like in order to pull off a splash of fuel?
Yes.
Probably need anywhere between 30 and 40 seconds. Currently, it's at 18, so I don't know if it's easy.
So it's 17.6 as of now. And they'll be pitting in a lap or two. They're coming to complete their 27th laps, and they're pitting now. So Redline pitting now with an hour 10 left. It's been 26 laps since, well, 27 now since their last stop.
Yep, Redline are definitely gonna, or sorry, Commander are definitely gonna take the lead here. We'll see just how far ahead they get.
I have a thing from Radical 2 saying, so sad what happened with Paul while he was running P8. Radical's cartoon number 35. 2 hours ago, his pedal plate from the G25 moved backwards because the grippers engaged into the pedal plate. He says, in hindsight, maybe I should have jumped into the... I guess this other driver says, in hindsight, maybe I should have jumped into the car after Vincenzo's stint. Would have been a good result for our team, but unfortunately a mechanical problem decided otherwise. Overall, good racing to that point, very competitive and respectful drivers during the race. Enjoy the racing, hopefully more luck in the next races. And yes, we agree for you guys. Good luck in the next races.
There was a driver change at Team Redline. Christian Simchak got into the car. So,
Quite surprised
interesting
by
call.
that, actually. Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're going to put Enzo in for that splash and dash at the end, but it doesn't make much sense. You'd want him in for the longer one to build up the gap.
I'm not sure.
I mean, Christian's good, but he's not been as quick as Enzo, so...
I think Enzo just needs a break.
It's probably true.
Driving for 2 hours straight. I think he just wanted to get a little break and have Christian to the end here.
Do you think the next stop, Renz will get out of the Coanda car and maybe put Kronka back in?
I'm not sure. It matters if they need to continue to save fuel. If they do, I think they'll keep Renz in. He's been doing a really good job with that lately.
So just over an hour left on the clock, an hour and 5 remaining. And I'm guessing if any of us were the betting kind, wouldn't the evidence point towards Coanda Simsport?
You'd think, certainly. I mean, just the strategy that they managed to pull here, and basically a better strategy call than Redline have put together for the last part of this race. I think so, and on top of that, obviously Enzo needs a break from the car, but putting in a Simchak at this stage, I can't see him being quick enough to pull out the gap that they require, so money's got to go on Coanda at the moment.
Your thoughts, Phil?
Oh, I've shared my thoughts for the past 2 to 3 hours on it. I think Coanda's done the right strategy, and Redline, while being faster because of their strategy, been left out now because they're going to have to do one more stop.
And let's ask our newest guest here in the TeamSpeak, Alexi Aloma. Alexi, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm a little tired, but fine.
Aren't we all tired at this point?
Yeah, it's been a long day. I've been racing not only this race but many other races because of World Cup and iRacing Pro Series, so it's been a lot of racing today.
Your team Glacier Racing looking decent in 10th, but right now, I presume you've been watching the battle for the lead also? Who's your pick for the win of this race?
Yeah, the Coanda is, yeah, they're just much smarter in this race, so yeah, they're winning it because probably they don't have as much speed as, let's say, Enzo has, but they're smarter or have been in this race, so they have pretty much won it already.
So as I said, your team's sitting around 10th right now. Is that kind of where you guys expect it to be, or is this better or worse? How is it relate to what you expected?
Well, we just wanted the top 30, so we can lock this car for the next rounds. So it's been pretty good race for us. We have been running with no mistakes, like 1 or 2 missed apexes, but pretty much no harms. Everything has been going fine, except when I went to the cars for my second run, we got the towing bug, so I think we lost like 1.5 minutes because it towed our car around the track once, and then we just got away. So yeah, it's been otherwise flawless race for us.
You've done 50 laps, or 58 laps in this race. Yeah, we've seen some pretty good behavior of lapped cars. Have you had that same experience?
Yeah, no problems with the lapped cars. Well, to be honest, I ran the first stint and third or fourth stint, so for me the lap traffic has to be so bad. So no complaints from me, at least.
By the way, Alexa, you said you raced in the Pro Series today. How'd you do?
Well, it was going pretty fine, but then I had some moment and dropped few positions, so P15 or 16, I don't know which one, 15 I think it was. It's okay because I didn't really had any preparation, except 1 week ago when I thought the race was 1 week ago, not today.
You thought the race was during the 24-hour race?
Yeah, I was going to do it, but no.
You guys are crazy. Oh, good job, by the way, on that 24-hour race. You guys put on a heck of a show with NX Racing and Virgil Racing as well on 4GT.
Yeah, it was fun, and the car is like the GT2 Ford is like a tank when you drive it. Other than the first corner and the last chicane, at spots like a tank, you can push it really hard. So it's really easy and fun to drive. Not like this, but this is much more nimble car, even though it looks like the same car.
Yeah, I'd say this car probably struggles from mechanical grip, mainly like low speed. Seems like the rear end's not able to bite too well, coming off the corner and stuff like that.
I don't know, I haven't tried the other cars, because, well, why would I?
Yeah, driving the great Ford GT.
Yeah, you want to drive the car, the other guys don't drive because you want to be different guy.
Yeah, we asked Yari what you guys really picked that car for. Was it simply because you just wanted to be different, you wanted a challenge, or was it just kind of a joke? You know, what was it really about?
Well, originally, long before when this series was announced, and so we had like a McLaren team with me and Hagner and some other people, and then the Ford team with Joni and the Backman and whoever, Latalo. But then, because, well, this race is on the same weekend as the Pro Series, and World Cup, so we had problems with the drivers, so we had to choose one car, and I thought this car would be less popular for some reason, so I wanted to drive this, and other agreed. So just want more challenge and not be the like every other car on the track.
Yeah, it's nice to see, and we actually we keep focusing on your car sometimes simply because we want the 4GT update, which is basically just you guys because you're the only ones driving it.
Yeah, there was the other team, but they didn't have the pace for this round. Maybe next time when if the balance of performance changes. I don't care if it changes.
Yeah, I think hopefully it gets sped up a little bit for after Suzuka when the new iRacing build comes out. Hopefully it gets a little tiny boost. It needs something.
Yeah, but it's fun to try.
Do want to mention real quick that car you might have seen if you were watching sideways across the track. The number 28 car, JCL Sim Racing MOE team, Alain Tesler losing the back end on the exit of turn 5.
Yeah, that was actually right in front of the Glacier car. So if anyone was watching, you definitely would have seen a car slide off to the side here. Interesting enough, Renz is definitely saving fuel now, as Christian just went 1.7 seconds faster that last lap.
So Alexei, so far has the Masters of Endurance series been what you expected?
Yeah, pretty much. The drivers are good and it's fun, except the bugs in the sim, but the job you guys do is awesome and excellent and everything is fun. So it's been like what I wanted from it.
Which race on the calendar are you most looking forward to?
Well, I don't like Suzuka and I don't like the Circuit of the Americas, so Spa is okay. And well, Bathurst is like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I love it or hate it, but it at least can be interesting.
I think it goes, you love it when you're able to do a stint without crashing, but you hate it when you end up crashing in that stint.
Yeah, it's like you have to up the hill, you have to go with, it's like you have to set up the corners the way you go really close to the wall, like you could go much more inside, but you have to really squeeze close to the wall so you can get the fastest time. So yeah, it's when you get it right, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think that race is going to be all about survival. Even if it is only 6 hours, I think probably going to see a pretty high nutrition rate. Is that the right word? Nutrition rate. Wow. It's nutrition. Yeah, I know it. Yeah. Sorry, I haven't had any nutrition today. I haven't had any food really. So yeah, a lot of attrition probably at Bathurst. It's to be expected though. It's the final round. They need a challenge.
And it is going to be interesting how each track. So two. What is it? About probably. Was it 4 or 5 weeks from the next build with the shortened season 4? Then, but then yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Because certain cars could have a bigger advantage at some other tracks than they do here in North America. Any other iRacing events you're looking forward to, Alexei?
Well, the World Cup finals are in the next week. Maybe I can focus them better next time. So that's quite fun. But at least should be unless this week it was quite boring for me because we were dominating the both races. No racing against anyone, just driving in the line. But yeah, of course the next I'm not running right now. I'm not planning to run any other endurance series, so the next one I really look forward is the next race in this series.
Now, I've seen that the Finnish drivers have really grouped together and been rooting on Timo Ivonen in the Oval Pro Series. How do you feel about that? I mean, I know you guys have a nice little NASCAR joke going around, but I mean, Timo finished 4th, I believe, this past Pro Series race. Do you think he's gonna end up doing extremely well in the series, or is it just kind of a joke and you don't think he's gonna do that awful good?
Well, he's been fast. He has a good team behind him, so no reason why he couldn't. Only thing could be the motivation because the races are at 3 a.m. his time. So that's the only thing that's limiting him or making it harder.
Yeah,
so he should be doing pretty good.
it's crazy. It's so late for him that he's actually getting home from work, going to sleep, and then waking up to race and then go to work. That's true dedication right there.
Yeah, I used to do it like 2 years ago, so I somewhat know what it's like.
Yeah, I remember that glacier car, and I don't think you never made it to DWC though, right? You just did Pro Oval, I believe.
Yeah, I did the second Pro Series when there was the different like what you needed to do to get the pro license, like
Exactly.
whatever 300 people got it. So
Yeah, I was in
Yeah.
that as well. Yeah, the 250 people from I think it was like a combined I rating and safety rating thing. That was like 2009, 2010, I believe. It was a while back.
yeah, I did the 2010 series and actually did one start in the DWC Oval. So it's been a long while since I've been in the black stripe oval races, but it's now so much different nowadays with the everything pretty much, at least from my point of view.
Yeah. So it's very hard to get into Pro Series now because you have to race all year long, especially on the oval side of it. You have to race all year long in order to get in. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, and I feel when back when we had the cars were much more simpler. So well, nowadays it's pretty much black magic how to make the cars go fast. It's so aero sensitive and everything like that. Back then you just set it loose and maybe a little looser to get it faster.
Yeah, on the old tire model, you're just wheeling it the entire time. Those good times.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Alexei. Would like to offer you a chance to tell us what the Glacier Racing website is, if there is any such site.
Yeah, actually there is the site. I think nowadays it changed recently. It's glacierracing.com and well, it's not really updated site. There's pretty much nothing in there. It's 1 year old news, and that's like, no, we are going to do news, and then it's one or two pieces, and then it's forgotten. So it's quite useless site.
It's a history thing. We always ask team guests to promote their wares, as it were.
Yeah, I'm really good at promoting things.
Well, and Tara, anything you'd like to say to any of the Finns watching? You may do in Finnish.
Ja okei. Hyvä kisa. Ajetaan kisaa myöhemmin sitten kuukauden päästä, että kattokaa silloin myös. Ei muuta näkemiin.
since I don't know finish, that was probably some bad words in there somewhere. But
No, I
that's
don't
okay,
think
'cause
so.
I didn't understand it.
No, I think that was. I
I'm
think he's
kidding. I'm kidding.
I think he said he was going to go get an ice cream like Kimi Räikkönen.
Actually, I pretty much said nothing, just random words, pretty much.
That's fine.
No,
Going to SimSport in for what is most likely and most definitely, I'm sure, their final pit stop with.
Yeah, and Kronka's in.
Yep, Martin Kronk's got in the car. Kronka, sorry.
So, well, Alexei, we're going to let you go. Watch your team through to the finish. Good luck to Glacier the rest of this race and the season, and good luck to you in the World Cup race next week.
Thanks for having me. Yeah. See ya.
Yes, sir. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks, Alexei.
So, as mentioned, in the last hour now, 48.5 minutes remaining in the 12 hours of Road America, presented by Derek Spear Designs here on simrace.tv. Jonathan Palmer, Phil Diaz, and Oscar Hardwick with you through to the bitter end. And going to SimSport, Martin Kronk in with the final stint.
Now, something interesting has happened here. I may have missed something, but why is there a 40-second gap between Team Redline and Cohen to SimSport?
Because Cohen's pit box is after the start-finish line, and in the time it took Cohen to drive at pit lane speed and cross the timing line.
Well, no,
then
I
on
mean,
track.
live gaps currently. I know I can't show this on stream currently because it's borked a little bit. However,
Oh, yeah, on the live thing.
yes, on live gaps, it actually shows a 41-second gap, which means that if Christian,
I think that Team Redline did a shorter pit stop to split these last two stints equally.
that might be the case. And I think that might have been smart of them. At least it'll make it closer. I believe. It matters if they take tires or only fuel here. It matters how much fuel they need. Also, the fact that fuel comes after tires.
Redline pitted 9 laps ago.
Yeah, they definitely can't make it to the end. Coanda can easily make it to the end. By easily, I mean within, 4 or 5 laps, fuel-wise.
But then again, I don't trust the gaps until an outlet.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping this lap, once it completes, we'll see the true gap. But I really think it's about 41.5 seconds currently. And Martin's currently getting held up in traffic here. Not helping the situation any.
Yep, coming up after turn 14 onto the main straight again. 2 cars ahead, which hopefully get around without issue, except they're trying to overtake each other.
He thought about going. It almost looked like he was going to go in the middle there. Here we go.
Gap is 41.6 for NGK Racing.
Yeah. That is rather
That's a
huge,
splash and
actually.
dash.
Well, it matters. Now, if Oscar might have a good point here, they might have taken less fuel to stop beforehand.
Yeah, that's what I would have done in their shoes, because, I mean, they're obviously not a stupid bunch. They would have seen what was going on with the strategy, not necessarily error, but the strategy that they had adopted for that latter part of the race. And yeah, I think they basically knew what they had to do, and by limiting the time in each pit stop and maybe elongating the time in the stints, it could make a difference. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait until the end to see.
The only thing that I believe, man, I wish Enzo was in the car right now. I'd like to see him, if they do a half and half stint, I'd like to see him getting back into the car and run those high 204s, low 205s that he can do those last, 10 laps or whatever it may be, and see if he can run them down. Because if they do that half and half, they're going to be a good 10 to 15 seconds behind. But fresh tires could mean that's a second and a half a lap. So it'd be really interesting to see what could happen there.
It very much depends on the timing gaps and the laps remaining, I guess, when Team Redline make their next stop.
Just past 44 minutes remaining in the race. Team Redline leads from going to SimSport and X Racing Red, Core Motorsports, Pure Racing Team, and Trinity Motorsports. The top 6. 314 laps run so far. Team Chimera 2, Glacier Racing, Hellenic Racing Team 9th, Vortex Sim Racing 10th, AB Racing Black 11th, American Racing Team 12th. These gaps do update live. Pure Racing Team 3 and 13th, Velocidaddy in 14th, Last Lap Motorsports 15th, R4R, AB Racing Silver, and New World SimSport 2 rounding out 16th or 18th. Chimera 1, Phoenix Motorsports KRT 19th, 20th, and 21st. 22nd is Flux Racing Team, USC SR Team Frenzy in 23rd. Direct Clutch Motorsports 24th, Radicals, Ham Racing Team, Monster Energy, CTC Racing, Rincorn Racing, and New World SimSport 3, 25th through 30th. And next to 6, LIT, Custom Image Motorsports, Orion Race Team. Mad Cow Racing, we got a little bit of them throughout the race today. Radicals 2 in 37th, out so far, Pure Racing Team 2. Gotta Go Fast Motorsports still running in 39th. They can run a few more laps. They will dump the, I think they will actually overtake Pure Racing Team, who is not completing laps. They've got 21 laps to make up, and they don't know if they'll have enough time.
They won't have
do
enough
that.
time to do it.
Still top 39, which could be important if they can get a good result in the next round. Jack Sedgwick did quite well for them. If they can get a good race next round, they might be able to jump in the top 30, so every position they could pick up today quite important.
Absolutely, and again, points on off, so they've got to keep pushing for it.
Yes, sir. It's just like any race. If you can get back out to complete enough laps, you are.
I think Coanda have pulled a master stroke putting Cronker back in. He just did a 2:05 flat.
Yeah, that was a really good move by them. Even though, you know, maybe they knew that they were going to be a little behind there. Maybe they saw Team Redline doing a shorter pit stop, and they put Martin back in the car just for you know, some security there.
Yeah, because he
Okay,
could
so
probably
if-
pull this gap in a bit.
If Redline have gone for a shorter pit stop and is on tyre dependent, Redline are going to have the exact. I mean, Redline can easily put their faster driver back in, and then they're going to have the advantage when they make their pit stop. It's going to be quite close, I think, or closer than we expected it to half an hour ago, anyway.
This is interesting here, mainly just, you know, who's going to get the traffic and whatnot, and just how it all plays out, because we thought it was over, but now they've, you know, shooken up a little bit. A little interesting situation now. Just so everybody knows, we're not forgetting about everybody else here. We actually had a change for position between Verica Racing Team and AB Racing Black about 3 laps ago or so. Pablo Lopez passing Miguel Neto for that position. Pair of roofs. The number 99 car, NX Racing Red, doing their last pit stop. PJ Sturgis jumping into the car here. Actually, he might have been already in the car, I'm not quite sure. No, sorry, Robin Friskops was in the car. PJ just got in.
Another 5-0 from Cronker.
Yeah, and he was overtaking a car in that process, so...
It should have been a 4.
Yeah, he gained 4/10 that lap. I don't know. It matters how long the pit stop takes. A drive-through in general takes anywhere between 25 and 30 seconds. Changing tires takes 16. So,
So
I mean,
if they take a tyre change, they will 100%
be
fall
behind.
behind.
Yeah. But if they just take fuel, I mean, first off, I don't even know what the tires act like after 60 minutes. I have no idea. If they push 70 minutes on tires, I don't know. Maybe they refuel and throw Enzo in the car for old tires, like on old tires. That could be interesting. I have
They're
no
in
idea
a
what they're going to
tricky
do.
spot. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place on that decision, really, aren't they?
Yeah,
One, they lose so much time that there'll be a notable gap on track. The other, they probably come out with or slightly behind Coanda, but with a car that's limping on older tyres.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation. Also, the fact that Coanda have fresher tires currently, so they're going to be pushing it. And if Team Redline don't change their tires, then they're just going to be losing time every lap, no matter what.
Certainly true.
It's a tough situation. It matters how much fueling they have to do. For 10 minutes, I mean, I have no idea how long that'll take. Hopefully no more than, say, 8 seconds. So if they can keep the gap between 38 seconds, 38, 40 seconds, I think it would be close on exit if they don't change tires. I don't know. I don't want to be the person who's making the strategy for Team Redline, that's for sure.
No.
And I don't want to be in Coanda's position either, because they have to push. But I think they're actually
4-8 from Kronka.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
That's quite the response.
It's an exact second. It's an exact second faster than Team Redline that lap.
Redline can't afford to make losses like that. They just can't. I mean, their strategy is already borderline whether they'll even be able to fight for the win come the end of the race. But losing time like this,
they can't be trying to stretch it, can they?
No, they can't.
It physically won't work.
No, they're almost 15 minutes short.
They would have needed to stretch that. Well, the
They'd
last
have to
pit stop was
stretch
14
all
laps
distance
ago.
before.
So either about 52. What about 10? Wouldn't it be?
Yeah, they can only do 12 more laps if they have 13 more laps if they had a full tank to begin with, and that's
which
roughly,
we're convinced they didn't.
Yeah, that's 27 minutes. Let's just say, giving them the benefit of the doubt, and that's still 10 minutes short.
Just to make a prediction, I think they'll go 5 more laps.
5 more laps?
Yep. 19, and then give themselves a nice 9-lap sprint.
Or struggle, depending on whether or not they change the tyres.
What was your prediction, Phil, for a full pit stop with tire change?
With tire change?
50 seconds, if not more.
Well, I don't know how much fuel they have to take is the issue. I know let's just say pitting in tires is probably around 40 seconds actually, if a drive-through is roughly 26. So I don't know. It's going to be close.
Right, so if they've got just a splash and dash, and then they've got the faster tyre,
they won't have
potentially they will stick their faster driver back in.
The thing is that tires and fuel are separate. That's the trick.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, I see what you're saying. So if you put, let's say, Enzo into the car for the last
just for an
20 minutes of the race,
drive. But they can't really afford to lose too much more, but of course Martin Kronka is surely going to start slowing at some point with his tyres. I mean, it's a 206.1 for red line across the line, Kronka 205.3.
Yeah, Martin's just eating into this gap right now.
Joining us here real quick for right here in the 12th and final hour of the race, coming up to the last half hour, from NWSS Scarlet, team number 45. Jonathan Butel, who has done 111 laps so far for his team. Mr. Le Mans is what I'm told you are. How has your race been?
Pretty quiet actually. We just had one crash and we didn't use yet our tow, so just had to use it. And from now on, it's been pretty quiet. I think we were running in P30, which is quite a key position. P29 now.
I got you listed in 29th for New World Sim Sport. Michael Rasmussen in the car now. Has the race been kind of gone to your expectations or what you planned before?
To be honest, there was not really a plan because well, that team formed up at the very last moment. Some of these guys I never talked to before during the race, so I didn't know what kind of people they were. And I know Kevin O'Keefe is a good guy, so I wouldn't expect any bad surprise on the driver lineups. And so far it's been pretty impressive. Pretty consistent guys. It's been a good back market race, and we're still in the top 30, so that's quite good. Really happy about it.
So if you continue in the same spot, you'll be locked in with the Suzuka round. How would that change your strategy?
Just a little bit, because Kevin already planned to keep the fast driver in the last stint, but we put him early. As soon as we had just a full tank to go, we just put him back in the car so we can push a little bit and try and make it safe. But well, it's still 33 minutes to go, so you never know.
Well, you're, let's say, an endurance maniac, I guess you could say. You love your endurance, mainly Le Mans. So what do you think about Masters of Endurance? I know GT3 is a little bit different for you. It's not necessarily something that would go to Le Mans. But,
sorry to cut in contact there. Team Redline just ran into the back of, I can't tell what car that is, but definitely going to be front and down. Pure Racing Team 1, 4th position car. Going to be damage on the front of the Team Redline car now.
Really? I don't actually see any.
It was just a light tap in the final corner on the Pure Racing Team car.
Sorry about that. But JB, what do you think, I guess, about Masters of Endurance? A little bit different. Well, 60 cars. It's kind of like Blancpain, I guess you could say. But a little bit different, as it's just one straight class.
Yes, it's a brand new game for me, iRacing, with the driver swap feature, because it was something we were all waiting for, and I wasn't on by the LFS day, so MO is pretty new for me, but I can say I really enjoy it. I also did the 24 hours of Spa last week, and yeah, it's a pretty new game. I think all the kind of guys like me and you, we just enjoy it so much. Really love it. Because
you don't. Sorry about that.
You don't race for yourself.
Is the best thing. Yeah, exactly.
You don't race for yourself anymore. I mean, I said we didn't have an eventful race but I slightly lied, because at the beginning of the race, Michael was supposed to be there and he was not connected, so I ended up doing the quali stuff, but I didn't actually practice for that. I had to read it quickly how to do that, and do the first double stint when I was not supposed to drive before 2 hours in. So yeah, I started the race, and you just cannot not think about you're doing the first stint. So if you mess up, your team drivers won't get a drive, and that's something you don't want to happen. So it's a bit, driving for your team is really a brand new game, and everyone in the server actually love it. It's not something that's gonna work for official series, but for league stuff, it was the main improvement iRacing had to do.
Yeah, just to cut in here, Team Redline's entered the pits, I believe. Yes, they have, and also Nestoras for Hanek Racing Team has just lost connection to the server while in a battle for the 12th position. That really painful.
Kronka to the lead.
Enzo back in the car. So
yes, but
I was
Enzo's
two
still
laps
sitting
short
in
on
the
my
pits.
prediction, but this is going to be very interesting.
I think he's too far back now. I don't think I don't think there's time. He's way too far back, in my opinion.
Racing seems to reckon it's 21 seconds. That can't be right.
You'll have to wait for the outline to be complete.
Yeah, I'm seeing about 30 seconds currently. 30, 31 seconds. Because we actually have a battle for the 20th position here. Darren Seal has caught, oh goodness, Radislaw Bielik? I don't know, sorry. Going up the inside here. Team Kimura versus USCSR, Team Frenzy.
So, Mr. Butel, you've been towards the middle of the pack. How has it been on both sides of the lapping issue? Lapping slower cars and being lapped by faster cars?
Well, lapping slower cars was not much of a problem because I think I saw 2 or 3, so it's mainly getting out of the faster cars way, and I'm quite used to that because I've been racing the Corvette in the Pro Tour and GT series, then the Ford GT, and then the C-Spec. It's something I'm really used to, and yeah, it's nothing new to me.
Are you a multi-class or single-class fan?
Multi-class mostly because people know that, but I'm Mr. Le Mans iRacing, and I've been there since 1996. So
I figured that was going to be your answer, but I have to ask. What's your favorite sports car?
Which plenty of them. You don't have enough time in that broadcast, so I can make you a list.
You can't have like your top, like let's say prototype and top GT. How about that?
I have very good memories from the Ferrari 333 SP from the late 90s prototypes.
Okay.
I would say for the GTs, not sure there's some English people in there, but I really appreciated the Morgan, which ran 2002 and 2004. It was a really cool car, really different, and I just loved it for some reason.
Interesting choices.
I quite like the Morgan. I agree with that one. Cool little car. Very unique.
Just update everyone on the lead battle here. After Team Redline made their pit stop, they're now 29 seconds behind Coanda with 25 minutes remaining, so don't see anything changing there for the top 2 spots unless Coanda make a mistake.
It's entirely possible. So, Jonathan, with New World Sims 4, Scarlet, any website for the team you'd like to promote?
Oosh, I might be a bad driver, but actually I just joined New World Sims Sport just for that race, and yeah, I don't know. They probably have a website because it's a good team. Nothing I'm aware about. Sorry.
Oh,
Good
and oh, you're
if I
officially
can-
an Infinity member, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I'm a bit of a free driver, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I have friends in
Freelancer.
Infinity.
Enzo
If
Benito
I
just
can
knocking
just-
a second. Knocking a second and a half off that lap. More on that in a second. Anything else you'd like to say, Mr. Butel?
Just something funny about the favorite GT you asked me. I just realized that at the same time that you asked me the question, Renz Brockman, which is a friend of mine, told me in the other team speak the Morgan before I answered, so yeah. I hope you're gonna have Renz in the commentary booths in a few minutes, but well, I'm crossing fingers.
Renz did a great job in the last, I would say probably, what was it, 2 hours or so? He had to save some fuel, and he did a really good job of that. Stretched the stints out nicely and made it really easy for Coanda here.
Renz is really good at fuel saving, and he has been he has been doing that for the whole race actually.
What track are you looking forward to next on the schedule?
Do you have Le Mans in the schedule?
We wish.
Okay, so I'm gonna wish for Le Mans next then.
Well, of the
No.
of the 4 choices remaining,
Let's say Bath is gonna be interesting.
Michael Booth suggests that you sneak into Lesarth with a laser scanner.
But if it was just about the laser scan, unfortunately, it's all about the money.
Yeah. You
Is
can
it
get the
always?
laser scan, but actually producing something really work.
Well, Jonathan Butel, thank you for taking some time out to speak with us. We hope to see you more in the upcoming MOE races.
Thanks for having me, and thanks guys for organizing such a good event. Really nice to be part of it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, JB.
Thanks, Shuby.
So then, Enzo Benito setting a couple 204s. Oscar, what are you thinking?
I'm upset that he's allowed to be that quick. Those are pretty insane times, 2:04.3s.
Yeah, it's actually the fastest lap of the race, 2 laps in a row.
I mean, thinking about even where that would qualify him, it's pretty high up to be fair, in qualifying trim, and he's currently in race trim. So his like Enzo's pace all day has been stunning, but now on that slightly lighter fuel load, running it to the end, this is incredible stuff.
Sector 1, Coanda 37.4, 37.1 for Redline. Is Coanda going to be noticing Redline's time and telling Martin Kronka to go, go, go?
I don't think so. I think they've got a comfortable buffer, and they're probably just telling Martin Kronka to carry on doing what he's doing because it's plenty enough.
No, I'm pretty sure Martin's perfectly fine under pressure, having to hold off Gregor and Enzo even, and the Drivers' World Championship. So I don't think he has a problem here. He can look at his F3 or whatever he has to look at, or have his teammates tell him. And he's just managing. As long as he runs high 5s and some low 6s, he should be fine. Enzo doing another 2:04.5. He doesn't have the time necessarily to do this, to come through like this.
Last lap for Kronka was a 2:05.889. Do you have a battle for P5 and P7?
Yeah, or
Possibly
well,
coming.
P6 actually.
4 and 5, I know,
Yes.
was possibly going to be one Pure Racing Team and Core Motorsports, and might have one between Trinity Motorsports and Team Chimera. So there are a couple other battles we'll look at. Looking at Team Chimera and Trinity Motorsports right now. Trinity Motorsports in the white, or in the blue and white car.
Blue and black. Well, I
Blue
guess
and black. There's white on the front.
yeah, it's just mainly been, actually both of these cars have kind of come through a little bit at the end here. They were to higher parts of the top 10, even possibly just outside the top 10. And they've slowly worked their way through to almost top 5 finishes here. Been testing, just clawing his way, about almost a half second a lap actually. Been catching Dirk here. last few laps. They're roughly on the same stint schedule. Actually, Dirk has 1 lap newer tires. Another battle that's actually coming on strong here is Last Lap Motorsports. Derek
Who
and
had
Murray.
that driver swap tow issue?
Yeah, well, I'd say a lot of people has had that issue, I think.
Yeah. Well,
They're catching-
specifically them because
they're catching Veilside-built Endurance Team, aka Nyan Cat. They're catching actually at a decent rate here. Going to be held up a little bit by quite damaged Mad Cow Racing team. However, it looks almost like Derek actually caught him after that. Didn't really lose any time. Only 1 lap newer tires, but not quite sure if Matt's actually pushing. I don't think he needs to save fuel. Maybe he does. It's a little close on fuel. Also, as we spoke about before, battles for P4 and P6.
Core Motorsports gaining almost a half a second each lap, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm
On
scared
pure
to jump
racing team.
away here. I'm scared to jump away because something's going to happen if I do.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got, on one screen, I got the core thing, so I'll keep an eye on that, but I'll look at the screen to see this LLM battle.
This
I'll look
Salon
on the
does
screen.
pretty good.
Well, yep.
I think it's inevitable here that Derek's going to get passed. Last Lap Motorsports passing Veilside, that is.
Yep, heading towards Carousel.
I know that the Veilside car you can see has a little bit of front end damage. Could be hurting its straight line speed.
Core Motorsports looking around the outside at turn 5. on
Also,
Racing.
Ben Tusting just got around Dirk. Apologies for missing that. He actually got around by quite a bit. There might have been, I don't want to say there might have been contact, but he has got around and pulled away quite a bit. Core Motorsport right on the back of Pure Racing as well, for 4th.
Alexander Voss at the wheel of Core Motorsports. Tom Valentini behind the wheel of Pure Racing Motorsports team. Crossing
Yes.
start-finish line on your screens, ladies and gentlemen, is the LLM car looking to try and get around the Veilside Endurance team. Around the outside, down the main straightaway. LLM completes the pass before turn 1. Veilside trying to look to the inside. No. So LLM up to P12 with 16 minutes remaining.
It looked pretty easy there for them. They're going to have a little fight back, actually. Matt's going to fight back a little bit here. Side by side.
Head
they're going
down
on.
towards turn 5.
It's quite strange. It's almost like Matt, like just, I don't know, slowed down on the main
Side
straight
by
there.
side, going wide as Velocity.
Nah, and Cat Car is used to a little rally action. As that's happening, it
Core
looks-
Motorsports just
Yes.
going around Pure Racing on the pit straightaway.
just simply passed him on the main straight there right before the corner.
Pure Racing team in the purple and black MP4. The rough just ahead being Core Motorsports.
Yeah, about 8 laps. Fresher tires for Core Motorsports. However,
And Pure going to the inside through 5. Will they overshoot? No, they keep it moved down and retake the position.
great move there. Dove it in extremely deep, but held it quite nicely.
Phoenix, number 79 car, went off at the kink in front of Kronka. Gap is under 20 seconds now. keep a close eye on this core and peer battle for now, while we wait to see what happens with the battle at the sharp end of the field. "14 minutes remaining in round 1 of the 2014-2015 Master Endurance season kickoff, the 12 Hours of Road America, presented by Derek Spear Designs, Phil Diaz, Oscar Hardwick, Chris Ford, and myself, Jonathan Palmer, along with you here through to the end. And again, we thank every single one of you for being with us, whether you've been with us for the last 5 minutes, on and off throughout the whole race, or from the very beginning, as Core Motorsports takes a look to the right-hand side, going towards turn 1, past pit exit. Core Motorsports doing the same thing last lap, except on the other side, side-by-side through 1. They stay side-by-side under the Briggs and Stratton Bridge. Turn 3. Both teams giving plenty of room. Quite clean racing here so far. Pure Racing team with the inside for corner number 5 as they head down the range sweeps.
Just out of interest, did we cover Kronka's release of the lap?
Yeah, he had a car spin in front of him, and it really slowed him down there. And plus, Enzo's doing some remarkable lap times. He actually just ran his first 2:05, past 5 laps or so.
Again, Kronka 207.4.
Yeah, it's just he had a problem that last lap, but he's been running 2:05s.
It was
before that.
2:08 the lap before, 2:07 this lap. Through the carousel, Pure Racing team running a little wide in the middle part. Core Motorsports tucking in.
Also further back, as these two cars were side by side, Pablo Lopez for NGK Racing team passed Velocidaddy's roof, Nyan Cat roof, for 13th position. I don't say rough, I say roof, I don't know which one. I think roof is the accurate one, I'm not sure.
Roof is the correct German pronunciation, I think.
Okay, so that counts then. Comes Core Motorsport again, should have a run on the main straight here.
And Pierre going defensive this time.
I don't know, I feel like I'm the only one that would actually, I don't mind being on the outside here for turn 1.
Well, that's how Core made it happen 2 laps prior now.
Whoa, what a... Just sailed it off in there. You get the greatest exit, so now Pure Racing team's all over.
Yep, last time this happened, Pure Racing got to move up the inside, going into turn 5. A long run down here, plenty of slipstreaming. Core goes defensive. Lost keepers the position this time.
I think this might have sealed the deal here for Core Motorsport.
Could be.
Pure Racing really gave him a good fight there. Made him work for it, that's for sure. 10 minutes left, I don't blame him.
Every move of that was clean.
Yes.
Which is great to see.
Pablo Lopez also, he has fresher tires than the cars around him. However, he was just able to also pass the number 52 of LLM, or Last Lap Motorsports, to take over the 12th position. All 3 cars are actually battling for position that you just seen on the screen. All are also roof.
Nine minutes, 20 seconds remaining.
shout out in the IRC to Masters of Endurance's former head, Ben Keel, DWB. He's now in the IRC watching the final stage of this race, and he hopes to be able to participate in the next round with us.
That'd be fun. Be like good old times.
Now,
Now,
that's just what I said. I just said it's good seeing the old boys back with a world-class
Yes, sir.
lineup, and that's exactly what we've got right here, boys.
now this is for 30th position. There's actually
So
two
NASCAR.
BMWs, BMWs fighting currently for 30th position. It's literally just not over. It's never ending, really. LIT Motorsports and Rincon, I believe, fighting for position here. I believe LIT has just overtaken that position this past lap.
I believe they did do.
We look back up at the lead here, 14 seconds, 7 minutes.
Yeah, last
Nah,
lap though,
nah.
the lap times kind of balanced out.
A second apart.
Yeah, well,
It has been better. Oh, has Enzo Benito makes a little mistake there, but a valiant effort on their part. And I mean, after 12 hours, being within 15 seconds, still an amazing job. But yeah, I think they just got a little snookered there by, or snookered, I don't know, by Coanda doing one less pit stop there at the end.
Well, you picked up on it earlier that Coanda were they were clearly saving fuel very, very early in the race, and it was very obvious when we went on board that they were employing those tactics. And Enzo Benito is really, really pushing at the moment, and it's yeah.
So I think Redline's approach was push, 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 and Coanda's was more of, you know, how can we win this? Now, obviously, you
Yeah.
want to push, you want to be as fast as possible, but at the same time, you have to be smart. And you have to figure out, you know, what the best strategy is, and it's ever changing as well during the race. Traffic and everything can, you know, stretch your sense and whatnot. Back through the field, I can't actually see any battles that may be happening these last, well, 5 minutes of the race. Normally it should be very difficult the last 5 minutes of a race, I guess, to find a battle after 12 hours. There's cars that are 1.4 seconds apart, there's a car 0.9 seconds apart, but they just got overtaken.
it's amazing how strategies seem to work out to have at least a couple close battles by races end.
Yeah, strategy. I mean, there's teams like, you see, been testing here on stream here in a second, right here for Team Kimura. They started, I've mentioned this way too many times, they started so far back, and they've driven straight through the field, and, you know, they kept the car clean. Can't really see a spot on it, to be honest, as far as damage is concerned. Done a great job with that. And now running in the 6th position. And running actually very good times. Another battle that doesn't seem to be ending for some odd reason is the Velocidade Endurance team. Well, a little off-track excursion there. However, they haven't really dropped back from Last Lap Motorsports after being overtaken.
So 4 minutes remaining. Should be this lap and 1 or 2 more.
Last Lap Motorsports going a little off track there. Oh, sorry. Veilside Endurance Team. Now on Cat. A little off-road excursion. Another little battle brewing up, even though he's currently being overtaken by Core Motorsports, is Darren Seal for Team Camaro 1 is slowly catching care of Team Motorsport. You see the McLaren farther up, I believe that's gray and blue. The gap's been getting a little bit smaller here. It was a little over 2 seconds, now it's 1.5. Don't think there's going to be anything happening here within the next 2 minutes. But it is close.
Leader across the start-finish line with about 2 minutes 20 seconds remaining. 2 laps to go.
Just a fellow, another shout out to our friend Deadwood Bones, Ben Keel. Glacier Racing is the only Ford GT. They're currently running in 10th. There's only one because the car is terrible. Thank you.
True story.
Whoa, AB Racing Black trying to make a move on Veilside. I don't know if this is actually going to happen or not. They are on much fresher tires actually, so this could happen. 13 lap fresher tires. I don't know. Can we get a number on how many laps Matt has done for Veilside Endurance Team? It has to be upwards of close to 200.
Matt Pavelski has done 136 laps. So
wow, that's actually a lot lower than I thought.
Bill Fraser has done 79 and Kevin Vaughn 115.
Oh, okay, so Kevin did a lot as well. Every time I look at it, it feels like Matt's the one driving the car.
Martin Kronk has done 106 so far. Has completed 106 so far. And Enzo Bonino has done 148 so far.
AB Racing Black here has a run going into turn 5. Alongside now. Don't think they'll be able to, well, maybe around the outside here. Nope. As Coanda, are they completing another lap right now?
They should be. I see ticking on the timer. 15 seconds. He didn't have enough time. He will cross the line with 5 seconds remaining. Final lap in the 12 Hours of Road America presented by Derek Spear Designs as time expires.
Could actually hear the alarm in the background going
Hear
off.
the deco alarm.
I set a bonus alarm just in
Oh, here we go,
case I
side by
looked
side
at
for the
it.
kink. AB Racing Black. Oh, they're side by side. Wow. Okay. Oh, contact.
Ooh, Velocity looked like they got on the grass there.
Yeah, they're getting a little crazy here. Now they have to realize they do need to actually finish the race.
And they've still got a whole nother lap to go after this.
Yes,
They're
I
knocking
think,
lumps out of each other. It's great.
I think AB Racing Black may be able to pull away here. They have the fresher tires. As long as they can live through turn 1, or actually, should I say turn 5, they should be okay.
So into their final lap, the Velocity team and AB Racing Black.
Velocidad's car is completely sideways everywhere.
So into Canada corner comes the purple and white Coanda Sim Sport number 18. It has been engaged in a tooth and nail battle as someone up ahead is losing their lump here in the last final corner. Martin Kronka has been on Masters Endurance winning teams and Live for Speed. He comes up the hill on 336 lap, and Martin Kronka leads Coanda Sim Sport to the first win in the iRacing era of Masters Endurance. Victory in the 12 Hours of Road America presented by Derek Spear Designs. Yeah, Team Redline finishing in second, just behind by 9.5 seconds. PJ Sturgis for the NX Racing red car in third, comes out of Canada corner, and that black and red NX Racing BMW Z4 through 13 and 13A and 14. NX Racing red coming up out of turn 14. PJ Sturgis will take that machine to third position here at Road America. Sturgis doing 125 of that team's 336 laps.
Yeah, it'd be nice and close coming to the end here. The last couple of top 5 positions. Core Motorsports currently being driven by Alexander Vost. Fantastic job, had a really good scrap towards the end there with Pure Racing Team 1. It's going to be a deserved 4th place from Core Motorsports. We've spoken about them a lot, keeping out of trouble, keeping it clean. It's exactly what they've done. Going to bring that wonderful pink roof home in 4th position. They're going to be ecstatic with that result. Right behind them, only a second and a half, maybe even less than that behind, coming to the line. Tom Valentini for Pure Racing Team 1, rounding out your top 5 here at the 12 Hours of Road America presented by Derek Spear Designs. Fantastic work from all of the cars, teams and drivers as the Pure Racing team loses it, slowing down through turn 1. Fantastic stuff all round. The racing's been absolutely brilliant. Everyone now just making their way to the line, getting it to the end. I think that's a success story in itself for the teams that get to the end of this race, to be honest. Oh, and we've got someone that's run out of fuel. It is Andy Fuller in the KRT Motorsports 97, I think, is it?
Yes, that is correct. Being helped across the line by James Stevenson for Mad Cow Racing. Mad Cow Racing finishing 34th. 20th position for Andy Fuller for KRT Motorsports. So a fantastic 12 hours from everyone as the top 3 form up at finish line. Looks like everyone has finished.
Just congratulations to Core Motorsports for finishing 4th, despite the fact they were driving the rough with that dreadful Toyota Yaris style car. Frankly, looking at that all day would make me sick.
So there's your top 3 hiding behind the start stand right now.
Yeah, I can't actually get a camera with them on it. Ah, yes.
Or Chopper, surely. So, what a race. We'll see if we can get anyone from any of the teams in for maybe a quick post-race interview. So, Oscar Hardwick, before you go, a couple quick thoughts from you, please.
You got to hand it to you guys that organised it, the teams that turned up and drove. It's been an absolutely stunning opening event for MOE in iRacing, and again, this really is one of those inaugural endurance races in terms of iRacing's driver swaps, and it's gone incredibly well. Everyone's done a fantastically good job. the number of DNFs, I'll be honest, was quite low. I think we had 39 finishes in the end, so fantastic stuff on that front. And you got to hand it to them. Hand it to the teams that did well, all of our podium sitters, everyone really in the top 10. Hats off, of course, to Glacier, getting that 4GT somehow to finish in 10th position. No idea how they've managed to do that one. Really impressive. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. I'm sure that most of the viewers have as well, and I look forward to seeing you all next time out, which I think is the 1,000 kilometers of Suzuka.
That it is. That it is.
Apparently, according to Yari, who we had on the broadcast earlier, there's going to be a protest. So Glacier think they might move up to P9 by the end of this race. I don't know who they're protesting, but something may happen.
I think something happened with the Hellenic Racing team, who somehow timed out yet went higher in position. So yeah, that's probably what's going to be.
Ah, there it is.
So joining us in TeamSpeak, we have Martin Kronk, who piloted the race winning Coanda Sim Sports car to the victory here in the 12 Hours of Road America. Martin, how was your race?
Well, hello first of all, and yeah, well, how was our race? I guess given the result, it was pretty good. It was quite a hard fight in the beginning with Enzo. For the first two stints, was quite close all the time. Yeah. After all, we seem to have a slightly better strategy in the end. We saved one pit stop compared to them, I think, which might have ended us the win, but overall the race was really good and really fun.
And you've been in Master of Endurance in LFS. How does it compare from this to how it was in Live for Speed?
Ooh, difficult question. Actually, in terms of competition, I think it's a lot tighter than in LFS. On this race, there were so many teams with really high-profile drivers. So competition was, I think, higher in this edition of MOE compared to the LFS one. In terms of fun and team spirit, I think it's basically the same. MOE was always a team event, and it still is.
Already also from Coanda Sim Sports, Renz Brickman. Renz, how was the race from your perspective? You did 115 of the team's laps?
Yeah, I think I did one or two more laps than the other guys, but yeah, well, it was an awesome race. It was great to be part of. A bit unfortunate to see our other cars, the 11 and the 88, not being able to finish. But yeah, it was a great battle with Team Redline for pretty much the whole 12 hours.
Any particular problems that your team encountered during the race?
Not in my stint. Martin had some harder fighting to do. So from my side, it was pretty much all fine. It was a bit tricky with traffic once or twice, but yeah, that's what you get with that many cars on track, I guess.
Alrighty, we'll come back to Coanda Sim Sport here in a minute. We've got, is that Robin Friskaps, I see, and PJ Sturgis. Let's go with PJ. PJ, you finished the race for NX Racing. How was the race from NX perspective?
Well, going into this race, I really didn't have any sort of plan other than just finish it and try to minimize the mistakes. And luckily we were able to do that, keep the car on track, and snuck ourselves into a podium finish here, which is a lot better than we were expecting going in. So congrats to the Coanda and Redline guys. They were in a league of their own tonight, but happy to come home with third place tonight.
Any particular issues you experienced with lapping or any other issues?
Luckily, no. A couple of close calls with some lap traffic, and almost had Simon get caught up in a spin in the carousel and a crash car in turn one. But besides that, luckily the race was relatively calm. I mean, you can only say so much when you have 60 cars on a track like this, but yeah, it was pretty smooth sailing, and glad to keep the car in one piece and on the track and come home with this nice finish.
Robin Friskap's also with NX Racing. How was it from your perspective?
Yeah, it was all good. Like, I was the first guy in our car that started the race, and from when we qualified P21, my first goal was just to get through as many cars as possible to start, and I was surprised that I was able to go as far up as I could in positions in my first stint. And then, yeah, the rest of the race was just driving, minimizing the mistakes, just driving around, and yeah, we just got the podium finish, which I really didn't expect at all.
Alrighty. Now on to Team Redline. Alexei Yakula with us. And Alexei, Redline had a great race with going to all race. What was it like in the Team Redline bunker?
Yeah, hello guys. It was a really nice race. Lots of racing is I had on my stints pretty early in the race, and yeah, after that even it was a really close race after all.
Were there any things you think your team could have done differently in this race that may have led to a better outcome? It was great driving from Enzo Benito in that last stint to close the gap as much as he did to Coanda, but was there anything you thought might have gotten you to close that gap even earlier?
Well, we did our first practice session together yesterday, so maybe we should have practiced more. So that's good to know when thinking about the next race. Maybe we need to do a whole stint before the race, so need know more about how the car works and maybe get some pace even more. And so Enzo and Christian did a nice job, and after all, only 10 or what it was, 10 or 15 seconds we lost, and we had like couple hours of practice. Well, after all, Conda did the absent job, and well, we broke the 200 incident record, so that's something.
Something for the road, alrighty. Well, again, all three teams that we've talked to are secure for next race. So, Renz for going to Simsport. Again, win, giving great momentum for the rest of the season. You're locked in for the next round at Suzuka. So, what is Coanda Simsport looking forward to from Suzuka?
Well, not quite sure, to be honest. Not sure if I'm the right one to ask. But yeah, like I said, I guess we have to carry the momentum into the next race. Although it's gonna be just as hard, not even way harder there.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to Coanda Simsport on the win, Team Redline on second, and NX Racing Red on P3. Good luck to all of you in Suzuka in a few weeks' time. So a quick look at the final results. Coanda Simsport, victory after 336 laps. Only 12 seconds, or only about 12 seconds behind Team Redline. Next three cars are one lap behind NX Racing Red, Core Motorsports, and Pure Racing Team. Couple cars 2 laps down, Team Kimura 2 and Trinity Motorsports, giving some great racing throughout the race. 3 laps down for Vortex and Hellenic. Glacier Racing, Pure Racing Team, Iberica, Last Lap Motorsports, AB Racing Black, Velocidade, all 4 laps down. So top 15 all within 4 laps. 5 laps down for R4R from 16th on, and then also on back to 20th. Also for AB Silver, Team Kimura 1, and USCSR Team Frenzy. 20th was KRT Motorsport 2. 21st, New World Simsport 2, Direct Clutch Motorsport. 23rd. 23rd was Flux Racing Team. 24th, Ham Endurance Team, Luis Rodriguez finishing the race for them. Radicals 25th. 26th was Monster Energy Endurance. Phoenix Motorsports 27th. 28th, CTC Racing. 29th, New World Sim Sport 3. LIT Motorsports 2 and 30th. Rincorn Racing in 31st. Custom Image Motorsports 32nd. Take a look further back, 36th Next Racing Yellow. Radicals 2, 37th. Gotta Go Fast Motorsports doing well to finish in 39th. These teams in 30th on back, not locked in for next round. First timer of the race was Infinity Esports Racing. So great race. Full results will be available on the forum and on mastersofendurance.net afterwards. Final thoughts, Phil Diaz?
It was a good race. Good first race in iRacing for Masters of Endurance. I think it was 9 seconds, 9 to 10 seconds there at the end. I think that's close enough. That makes me happy. Being up for the past 14 hours, getting everything going, and watching it basically every single lap. It was a good time. Coanda and Redline put on a great show up front. Also different battles throughout with Core Motorsport, Kimura, Pure Racing. Many others that I could list all day really. Just very good racing by everybody. Little accidents here and there, but that happens in a 12-hour race. We just have to learn to accept it sometimes. But overall, I think it was a really good race.
Don't forget, you've got through the end of the night, Monday night, to use promo code MOE1 at IGP Manager to get yourself 1,000 free reward points. IGPmanager.com for info on that. I'd like to also thank Derek Spear Designs for providing prizes for the end of the season for the top three, or for the championship winning team, and also 3 other drivers. DerekSpearDesigns.com. Thank SimRace.tv for providing the streaming platform. It has been a fantastic 12 hours. Next race is the 1,000 kilometers of Suzuka from Suzuka, Japan on December 6th, 2014. Green flag at 16 UTC. I'd like to thank Lewis McGlade, Oscar Hardwick, Chris Ford, Phil Diaz, Michael Pascam, Michael Booth, race director, also Alvin for helping us admin throughout the race. It has been a great start to the season, and we will see you on 6th of December for the 1,000 kilometers of Suzuka from the 12 Hours of Road America presented by Derek Spear Design, where Team Coanda Sim Racing number 18 has won the season opener for Masters of Endurance 2014-2015. For all the crew, Jonathan Palmer saying so long, everyone.
Bye-bye.